want the money!
How you sleeping at night, son? Like a baby.
A hoe's final form is a religious woman.
I'm not a good woman, okay? I promise you don't want me. I don't cook, I don't clean, I don't do 50-50. I'm smarter than you. I won't listen to you. I will stress you out. And I like to spend a lot of money, okay? We ain't compatible. Leave me alone.
Silly ass bitch.
Put myself on the stage real quick. What up, y'all? What up? I ain't about to make this a long what's now. I just need to go ahead and I just need to go ahead and put some material back out into the algorithm. It's been a while. I know. I'm not gonna be on here that long. You know, this whole Andrew Wilson and shout out to Coach Greg Adams. He had sent me birthday wishes a couple of weeks ago. Oh yeah, last week I believe like last Tuesday was my b-day. You know what I'm saying? Happy belated birthday to moi. Chapter 39. I've been I ain't see the whole debate. Seen bits and pieces, I ain't gonna lie. And again, shout out to Coach. I mean, even when I did my homework on Andrew Wilson and all the everything, you know, I've been trying to fall back lately on making content. I felt like I was going down the pathway of SBEing, you know, because I had to really had to go ahead and get back to myself, had to readjust myself. A nigga been doing dealing with a lot lately, you know what I'm saying? Lost one of my old sites. I was working security at, was there for 6 years, you know. I didn't really do nothing. I actually got removed because I did my job, but I'll probably tell y'all that on a different podcast. We just gonna chop it up a little bit. Matter of fact, let me see if I can go ahead and I'm gonna send this particular kite to let me see, Keep It 100 one come on up, because I was just talking to Keep It 100, you know. I was just talking to Keep It 100. Shout out to him too, you know. And if he don't come up, I'll just leave the podcast up for him. You know what I'm saying? Because me and him was just chopping it up on the messenger real quick. And shout out to Keep It 100. Shout out to Marcus. You know, we have come into the space with a lot of religious people. I mean, I shout out to the I know the truth. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm a Hebrew Israelite. You know, just like the rest of y'all. We ain't gonna get into that talk tonight like that, but also the religious talk in the male space, especially in the manosphere, the thing is, it's really coming to a bad head. I mean, and shout out to the religious folks. I mean, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Keep your good faith and all that good stuff, and hope you're doing good works. But faith without works is dead. But the thing is, though, a lot of y'all got chill on the so-called religious rhetoric talk. I know y'all want so-called the 1950s. I know I talk about that ad nauseum on my podcasts in the past before. Y'all really want the 1950s guys. Maybe I'll do too, but when we can't go back in the past. The past is behind us, and we must move forward. The thing is, though, I know what you guys really want when y'all talking about the so-called 1950s. See, y'all want that so-called good woman, that Stepford wife, you know, the Susie homemaker, everything in between, with the pearly white teeth, the nice hairstyle, pearls around her neck, and all that shebang. I get it. We get it. But you also want her to go ahead and build with you and struggle with you like it's the 1930s. So I mean, I'm not caping for the bitches or anything. I'm not going against the red pill. I'm not going against the manosphere. I'm just going with this logic right here. Y'all want these chicks to actually go through a Great Depression, so y'all go ahead and maintain a relationship of American high. And that's why I put in the chat with Marcus. Let me see if he'll come up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because shout out to Dr. Thunder too, you know what I'm saying? The thing is though, I love Dr. Thunder, I love watching the show and everything. And shout out to his quartet tonight, good jazz ensemble and everything. But this ain't got nothing to do with Doc. It's similar to Doc, but it's like a lot of other content creators. See, I grew up in the church too. I got religious leanings too. You know, I thought I was gonna be one of the only ones in my group, being a so-called choir boy, even though I was in these streets too. I thought I was gonna do the proverbial God marriage thing. You know what I'm saying? I actually believe that, still do. The thing is, though, we are in a time. Even the Bible talked about this time. So that's why I'm looking at some of you dudes actually trying, like, really, really, we basically in the last days. I mean, y'all really want to go down trying to save some of these. They tell you what they really want. I mean, the gloves is off. They then told you that they want the soft girl life. They want finances over feelings. They told y'all they're gonna use what they got to get what they want. And a lot of you dudes been trying to double down, triple down, trying to like get these chicks back to a table, trying to go ahead actually use logic and reason, and hopefully trying to reach at least one. But a lot of that has fell on deaf ears. They get the bag, they get the bag. They mess who they want to mess with, especially and shout out to Pookie and Ray Ray, but they get the bag, they mess with the so-called Pookies and Ray Rays, the scammers, Brad and Chad, and even the studs, bro. Even the studs, like Media Takeout. Salute to you, XL Pro. Media Takeout. You know, a lot of these people come about 4 or 5 years too late. You know, they basically try to go ahead and put Dr. Cheyenne Brown on blast. You know, uh even though we already kind of put everybody down that rabbit hole about her having a liquor license. Now they got the receipts. They got a so-called stud dude or stud girl, what you want to call it, but forget that. We talking about that see, we might talk about that too, you know what I'm saying, depending on how the night go. So Andrew Wilson, CGA, had a debate a couple of days ago, probably like a week or so ago. That's been going on, blazing the internet, blazing YouTube, even Rumble and stuff like that, TikTok. A lot of individuals that don't rock with CGA or his so-called lifestyle, the free agent lifestyle, they want to go ahead and ride Andrew Wilson's coattails. They want to ride his coattails because, for the simple fact that he's white. You can literally take Andrew Wilson's whole entire relationship or what he broadcasts on these bandwidths and try to pontificate along with his wife about a so-called righteous Orthodox Christian lifestyle. At the same time, though, I mean, we all fall short under the Most High. I get that. The thing is, though, y'all get on these bandwidths, sit down with these OnlyFans these out in the world, worldly chicks, sit down on the podcast with them, downright insult them, ridicule them. But when we look into y'all so-called skeletons, y'all closet, it's the type of shit that make Lifetime want to get in contact with y'all to make that shit into a fucking movie. And CGA will tell you he ain't perfect either. I mean, but at this rate, it seems that CGA actually has more credence in his argument than Andrew Wilson. I mean, let's be real. He got the receipts, was married, divorced, even had to live in his car for X amount of months. Decided that, I got the kids. I already did the what's the name. Marriage ain't for me. Let me go ahead and try this. Let's go ahead. Let me try something that ain't probably really been done before. I mean, it's what men been doing for so long, for millennia. But let's go back to the bare root and just go ahead and remix it for the new age, with technology and ish. Thus, the free agent lifestyle was born. The thing is about the free agent lifestyle, or if y'all want to be adjacent to the so-called red pill exodus of this deplorable system that we call marriage here in the great Western society, not only here in the U.S., but also in Australia, Canada, Britain, and any other place that so-called follow this so-called constitutional republic, the democratic situation. So, with that in mind, the whole debate and everybody that's trying to run saying that CJ lost it because he basically was trying to put Andrew Wilson in a got you moment throughout the whole time of the debate. And every time he almost got a little Andrew into a so-called gotcha moment, he moved the goalpost. Red Illusion, welcome to the ozone, my friend. What's up? Red Illusion has wrote, if only the men had known that the women for whom they wrote poems were 20 years older than themselves, they would have written fewer poems. I've been looking at some videos and some particular texts from Mr. Schopenhauer and Mr. Nietzsche and Carl Jung and Carl Jung. For philosophy, psychology, I did not take it as a study while I was in academia, while I was going to school, even while I was in community college. Psychology and philosophy is just a pastime of mine. I actually study and look that up for fun. I know, right? Doing something that other people will go ahead and pay for, I do it for fun. Go figure. Because the breadcrumbs and the little Easter eggs was always in our faces. You notice, Mr. Red Illusion, throughout my youth. I mean, I don't know how old you are, but through my youth, growing up in the '90s, going into the 2000s as a young man, um, the women folk always told me that women, specifically girls, mature faster than boys, aka women mature faster than men. But they still would tell you they just a girl in the end. How does that gaslight mindfuck actually work? Now you got grown adults supposedly over the age of 18 that votes, drives cars, supposedly be able to hold occupation. They're gonna tell you that they're not fully grown because their frontal lobe haven't fully developed yet at 25. But in the same breath, they'll tell you that the women folk They're doing all these bombastic things, running circles around us dudes, you know what I'm saying? Because, they mature faster, they smarter, they're more educated. Why you can't be like the girls? But we only found out that their bodies mature faster, not the minds. Maybe their spirit, maybe their souls, not the mind. Not the mind. But I ain't the one to talk. I mean, I have always told y'all before, even with my uh, uh autism. Hold on, this shit called AUDHD. It's both the tism and the ADHD. No, don't take all my words for it. I'm even right now. It's hard for me to even stay focused on this damn particular task. My racing like it's a NASCAR car series right now. But we gonna hold it together. We gonna hold it together. Oh, the CGA Andrew Wilson thing. The thing is about. I want to go highlight this. Like, what y'all really gonna do for these so-called religious and very centered, spiritually centered men going on into the future? You know, Gen Z already shows y'all they ain't really going along with the get along. Lord forbid, Gen Alpha is right behind them, and Gen Alpha with all the technology at their disposal, all the years and years of not only analog but digital videos, documentations. They could literally go and search for in the next 5 years, just like that. Oh, we really done our job because they're gonna be seeing like these men. So let's say about 2045, 2050, these young men gonna sit back and say, damn, you mean to tell me 100 years ago in the 1950s that these people had it fucking made? You know, they had people. They had this thing called a father in the house. That because the whole family, the nuclear family, gonna be extinct by that time. So yeah, about 2050. Yep, 2050. Like Tito say, you might actually had to go to a museum and actually see the damn black family up in museum cases. But I digress. They're gonna look around. They could be like, as young adults, they gonna be like, so you mean to tell me that I got work? We already got work about what about 75 times harder than the dudes in the 1950s. So you add another 25% and about what's that 25 years from now? They in 2050 you're gonna hear young Gen Alpha men talking about, you know what? I had an uncle by the name of Mr. O. And Mr. O used to say, man, you know what? Back in the 1950s, they used to have dudes could have one job, literally work at that one job for like 30 some years. Hell, if you did a good job, they even give you a gold watch and everything. They give you a pension, and it's a new thing called Social Security was coming in, so you get the double the what's the name? Yeah, you might be all beat up and effed up from working in the elements, probably working in a warehouse or something like that. But at least you got to come home to your little kids. Hopefully that was yours. I mean, a lot of dudes didn't probably know if it was the milkman's or the mailman's. DNA testing wasn't really a thing, but hopefully it was his. Come home to a white picket fence, 2-car garage. Wife just got through making a Sunday dinner on Wednesday. Kids all bright-eyed, saying clean, with the little pigtails and nice little crew cuts, sitting down having a family dinner together, probably even watch a little TV together, say a family prayer in the house together, then go to bed and wake up and do it all over again together. That's gonna be so foreign in the next 25 years. Even they gonna be like, man, you must be talking about one of them old movies or something like that. That's how bad it is. Red Illusion has wrote. Oh, you 25, bro? Shout out to you. Damn, man. Damn, 25. Yeah, damn, man. I was 14. Damn. 14 years old. Shit. I'm 25 and never met a girl my age or younger that can communicate above 8th grade level. But Red Illusion. I've been looking at the news. they've been saying for the last few years that these girls were so educated and smart. Even in the eighth Revolution also wrote, getting a very realistic simulation will be cheaper and less risky than getting married in 15 years. Well, I'm about to start probably pushing out conspiracy content. That was what really the red pill was. I don't know how that we actually let these dang gurus hijack the space and start putting the women folk. The women folk was a part of it, but it was not really the whole center of it, if you know what I mean. But I'm gonna go start talking about conspiracy content, especially when it involves my favorite genre of music, hip hop. I'm even gonna start showcasing some of my actual talents because I told you I used to be a rapper. Some skills you'll think that rapping and rhyming, be like riding a bike. But yeah, the nigga got to get back into the pen and the pad and probably go on saying, probably go ahead and drop a little mixtape or something like that. I've seen all these other elders of the industry still dropping some classics. And shout out to you young dudes too. I rock with y'all too. Don't get it twisted. I like y'all too. The thing is though, I refuse. I refuse this beautiful thing of mine called hip hop to just be just a young person's thing. But let me get back on top. Red pill was originally for us reptilian hunters. You hey, see, I've been in a lot of rabbit holes, me and Bugs Bunny and neighbors. I said that before. I'm glad no other content creator stole my shit yet. But yeah, yeah, yeah. Especially with the on the non I don't want to go ahead and talk about that either. I don't want to talk about that either. We're gonna talk about that in the future. I need a new crowd. I need a new audience because the dude's tired of being shadow banned over here trying to talk about 304s all day and all you simp ass gang group. It's still gonna be talked about. I'm just gonna minimalize it, for a little bit. I'm still coming after y'all dudes' heads, you simps out there with these broke group therapy session podcasts, like I always talking about. But go back to group therapy session podcasts is like Andrew Wilson and Rachel Wilson. Did y'all even see that particular video by Just Tree 411, basically detailing that whole information? You know, I had a fear when I came on YouTube that I really wanted to be like Kevin. I ain't gonna lie to you. I want to be like Kevin, but I ain't polished like Kevin. Kevin, even when we had our own tobacco before YouTube, you know what I'm saying? I knew this nigga had something. I just couldn't put it on. I was like, you know what? This OG right here, this guy got something, but I just can't touch it. You know what I'm saying? He had the whole aesthetic. I'm too rough around the edges. I got my what's the name, my highlight moments, but yeah, I'm just a hood ass nigga from Chicago. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. The thing is though, y'all want like the Orthodox Christian thing, you give me use some Islam. You even use some so-called Islam. Y'all really believe these chicks gonna follow particular doctrine even when they don't want to follow y'all they what Minister Jeff say, if these chicks won't even listen to Jesus, why y'all think they're gonna listen to y'all? Haven't Gen X men, even some, I'll go ahead and throw some boomers in there. I even go throw some boomers in there. But Gen X men, us millennial men, have we fallen on our swords? Pause. Have we fallen on proverbial swords, trying to do the right thing, only for the so-called women folk of our so-called society? Not only make sure that we did fall on the sword, they actually kicked us while we was on the damn sword to make the bleeding more painful and worse. Now, I'm not asking for a complete collapse of society. I ain't no fool. It ain't gonna happen either, but I ain't no fool. Also, I'm pretty sure that this happened before in our time in history. We got so good, everything was going so great. Everybody started feeling themselves, and then when once we everybody started feeling themselves, and was nobody left to feel themselves, things went back to square one. You know what I'm saying? Well, and unfortunately, it never be the hot intellectual motherfuckers that live into the ends. Always you dumb, low IQ, middle IQ motherfuckers that always make it to the end. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. Andrew Wilson has said a lot of things at the matter of fact. Let me see if I can actually pull that debate up. I said I wasn't gonna be up here for that long, but fuck it. As I'm doing some backstage business, trying to bring y'all what's the name. Let me go take a word from our sponsors real quick.
Sean P. Diddy Combs has been using Proactive Solution for years, since his New York dermatologist recommended it.
During the time when I had an album out, I was more in the public eye, so I definitely had to take care of this problem. I couldn't be in the public eye with, pimples all on my face.
Proactive combines multiple medications with soothing spa-quality botanicals to create a powerful acne-fighting system. You can heal acne today and help prevent new breakouts tomorrow.
Like 2 weeks later, my skin had started to really smooth out and clear up. One of the things about Proactive is it moisturizes my situation, it preserves my sexy, and then I'm off to doing what I need to do. I felt like it's something that I wanted to share with people because it's something that I really use. To me, I just think it's worth a try.
You have nothing to lose and so very much to gain. Go on. Call now.
All right, now we back. Thanks you all for listening to our sponsors. You know what I'm saying? Free Diddy, free Tory. Matter of fact, free Tory. Out of anything and everything, free that man Tory Lanez. All right. Let's go ahead and bring this shit up to the damn. All right, so this CGA and Andrew Wilson. Let's go ahead and take a look. See,
schools are typically centered around marriage. However, marriage has not progressed to the point where men could be safe legally, and a lot of men have experienced tremendous damage, collateral damage as a result, and it has led to broken families, a lot of broken hearts, simply because the laws are not positioned to benefit both people in a divorce.
Hey.
Therefore,
yeah, I don't think I did do fair. You coach fuck with me, but yeah, shout out to coach too. He just said a whole entire mouthful right there. Oh, there you go. And there he is. Keep it 100. Welcome to the Ozone Marcus.
Yo, you can hear me?
Oh yeah, loud and clear. And before I start, you know what I'm saying, I had to go ahead and tell you, this is real quick, people, what this is.
This is an American Douchebag Productions.
Is this the debate?
Yep, this is the debate right here.
Okay. What part of it you at?
I think I'm really at the beginning. I had just popped on to the 14. Let me look where I'm at. The 13 and 29 second mark right here. I think they were just chopping it up, introducing themselves for the first part of it. So yeah, I think I'm at the beginning. Let me go ahead and rewind what Coach had just said, because we literally just got to talking about what he just said right here.
Good schools are typically.
Hold on.
Let's get into some opening statements. Who wants to start off?
Yeah, man, marriage is a great institution. It was an institution that built the community of America. Most of the better communities that have safety, good children, good schools are typically centered around marriage. However, marriage has not progressed to the point where men could be safe legally, and a lot of men have experienced tremendous damage, collateral damage as a result, and it has led to broken families, a lot of broken hearts, simply because the laws are not positioned to benefit both people in a divorce. Therefore, you have no fault divorce. You have opportunities for women to use the courts against men And as a result, men have seen 1, 2, and 3 generations of men getting harmed, their grandfathers, their fathers, their uncles, their brothers getting harmed by this. So Generation Z men are not positioning themselves for a positive marriage. So at this,
see, I'm gonna pause it right there. I literally just got through saying that right there, keep it 100 before he got to this before he came to the stage, and I said Gen Alpha. I said Gen Alpha boys in about 25 years from now, like Tito has said on his podcast, that you got to go to the museum to find a nuclear family of any race. And they're gonna look at what in 2050, they're gonna look at what happened in they century, which is the 1950s. They're gonna be looking at it like, oh man, that was just some fairy tale stuff. You know, that's just some movie magic stuff. That wasn't real. Go ahead, keep it 100, and everybody in the chat, welcome to the stage. Keep it 100. Marcus, you muted.
Yeah, my bad. Yeah, so I don't think anybody here is unfamiliar with my positions on marriage in America. And my positions on people in this space promoting marriage as like some sort of strategy for men. I've been speaking about this since I've been around. You know, watching this debate, you know, I hear Andrew, you know, make his points, and Andrew makes the points that, you know, whether it be religious men or men that just, you know, they're trying to keep up the faith, like they want it to be what it was. You can't put the cat back in the bag. You just can't do it. The women that we're dealing with in 2026 are not going to subscribe to anything Andrew is talking about. The women that are doing it, because he's like, you can do this right now. No, they can do it right now. The same way women in other countries and in other cultures grew up learning to be wives. The women in that ecclesiastical circle, right? Right. They grew up to be wives. You're not going to meet no Keisha on the Ave and turn her into an ecclesiastical and then get a Christian Orthodox marriage. It's not happening. So, you know, people talking like this is a strategy because it's working for those people over there. It's like saying become Amish, because I think he even raised the Amish as a talking point. Like you can become Amish tomorrow and have Amish results. Like that's not how shit works, bro. So everybody talking about what these people do, is like saying, like, it's like comparing black people to Jewish people. Yo, if we only did what the Jewish people did, then we'd be like the Jewish people.
Or the Asians. Don't forget about the Asians.
Or the Asians, you know, group economics. Listen, if it was that simple, we would just do it. We would just do it. Hey, Shorty, I'm feeling you. Let's go on an ecclesiastical date, right? Let's get some ecclesiastical pizza and soda, right? And then keep it moving ecclesiastical. These girls have slut walks, bro. These girls have slut walks. I don't understand why in 2026 dudes, right? We talk about SBE and everybody gets mad. These dudes think they can shame these chicks back into the kitchen, into the you know, the house, and you know, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna. This is not a strategy. This is you know, reminiscing. This is everything that the coach said it was, right? You know, he's like, you know, this is fairy tales. It's not real.
Hey yo, I'm thinking about coining a term. I think about calling this nostalgia paralysis.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. This is, I call it mental masturbation. Right.
That too.
Yeah, that too. You know, mental masturbation about this, you know, based in nostalgia paralysis, right? You want to take it back to 1950. It's not going back there. It's like telling, you know, black men they had it better during slavery. you know, you know what I'm saying? Like, these dudes are wild. Like, it's not gonna happen. I keep telling these dudes, it's not gonna happen. It's going backwards for these women. They don't look at the past as positive. They look at it as they were in a place that they had to be. They couldn't escape. You know, we're all Danny Glover. We're all, you know, Albert, Mister. You know what I mean?
Hold on, wait. Before you go on, that's the reason why I said that. Why I said in the chat. This is the reason why. Oops, right?
She can sing. She got spunk. She can talk to anybody. She can stand up and be noticed. But what you got? You're ugly, you're skinny, you're shaped funny, and you're too scared to open your mouth.
That part. But
you did a face swap. That's you.
Yeah. I told you I go by Mister because of that, bro.
Right. Maybe you could sweep out the caboose. Any more letters come? Yo, that's the part we always be joking about. Any more letters come? Could be not. Who's to say? That shit be having us rolling. Yo, listen, man. You know, listen, for all the guys in the space, you know, that think that you know, you could follow this white guy to ecclesiastical paradise, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Your women will never do it. Period. It's not going to happen.
So they'll follow Andrew Wilson with his Orthodox Christianity and all that stuff, but they won't follow all these other black YouTube dudes that have been talking the same jazz for all these years, like Ringo TV Raw. But I'll go ahead. I'll go ahead and move right there. Let's go ahead and drop it. Right
now, I got you. I mean, look, we done gave niggas solutions for a good amount of years now. They don't want them solutions. You know, I get us to be, yes, a good portion of these niggas, you know, they trying to get the bitches right. A good portion of them don't. They talk a good talk in the comments and shit like that. But, you know, they kind of want to go backwards. And the thing is, like I said before, man, I'm not into running experiments. I'm not into doing none of that shit. I'm willing to let these niggas bump their head, get burnt, whatever the fuck got to happen to them. And if they never learn, I don't care. I'm not here to save niggas who don't want to be saved. That's why I say save yourself. I'm not here to save niggas.
That's right.
I tell niggas save themselves, bro. You can only save yourself. I can't save you, man. You know what I'm saying? Shit crazy. Good. I'm listening.
Yo, the crazy thing is, see, I could get what these guys really want, but to understand this, what's the name? See, a lot of these dudes, they are like the prophet Hosea. Hosea had to go ahead and wife up and be with a 304. The thing and the reason why is because God was trying to humble the nation of Israel at that time, because he said, and I quote, since y'all treat me like a 304, and your whole nation of women 304s, you go ahead and deal with them in the same manner that you dealt with me. And also he said in the same Bible, he said it's not good to let your daughters become harlots and whores unless the nation is already filled with them, and you must go ahead and do as such. So I don't understand why dudes we want to go ahead and talk all that Bible talk when the Bible literally told you in two specific words and phrases that you gotta let the hoes be hoes.
Right. You know,
if he gonna be Hosea and deal with the broad scandalous hoish ways, or you can just go ahead and just take it for what it is. But like, yeah, you know what? This crypto is really busting. Maybe I should go ahead and check this out with my passport and get this step.
Right. Hey, listen, when you get dudes talking language like they waiting for the whole country to crumble, the country they live in, the country they earn a living in, the country they eat in, the country they might own property in, they want that to fall apart so that the hoes will come back. When you hear stuff, and this is why, you know, I ask people, I say, yo, do you think that there is an incel message here? And everybody says, nope. I'm not saying that the space or the black manosphere centers its message around incels. I'm saying that certain guys do. There's a difference. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not saying that the purpose of the space. I've been saying this, and dudes seem to not understand English. I've been saying that this space was not designed for the incel shit. That's what I've been saying, and dudes are taking it like I'm saying, yo, the manosphere is incels. No, that's what people outside of the space say. But the reason why they say that is because they see prominent figures in the space preaching this type of stuff. How you gonna preach to men? Yo, wait for your whole system to break down so that you can get the women back. Now, what me and you were discussing earlier, I say, yo, he's talking about running, certain people, I don't want to say names, talk about running experiments. And the way I see it is like, okay, we just had an experiment. They denied these women benefits for what today is. Today is the 13th. You might as well say 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Now you got a couple women like some shit you sent me say, you know what? Maybe we need to get our act together. We need these niggas, whatever. But I'm gonna tell you, the overwhelming majority of women, they went on a Hunger Games mission.
Damn, you said Hunger
right?
Games.
Right, absolutely. They went on a Hunger Games mission to not fuck with niggas. They said, nah, we ain't doing that. Yo, like, whatever we need to do, we gonna do that as opposed to submit. Because submission means you lost. It means we were right. The last thing a chick want to do is tell us, yo, y'all was right. Yo, even the chick that, you sent me, like, you can see it in her face. And that's what I'm saying. Like, by the time you get these chicks that don't want to be with you unless they in dire straits, by the time you get them to submit, bro, begrudgingly, these are the chicks that's going to be putting like small amounts of bleach in your shit for you to drink, small amounts of arsenic in your food for you to eat. They're going to be killing you slowly. These are the types of chicks these dudes want to sleep next to. You know what I mean? Like, I can't do it.
A lot of these dudes want that Isaiah 4:1 to come to fruition. I knew what Tito, when he said that, he was like, y'all really don't want that to really happen. And I really had to think about it. I say, you know what? You're right. Think about it. Only the niggas only think about the so-called baddies, the ones who thick as hell, fine as hell. They think they're gonna get a gang of them coming to the front door. Nah.
Some years back, remember I posted this short. You seen it? It said, yo, this chick will not be at the table. And I had the bad chick, the model chick with the music playing. That's still up. I said, yo, this will not be what the table looks like. This chick will not be at the table. That's what they imagine. They imagine when all things break down that these are the chicks that's going to be on their knuckles. Nah, them are the chicks that do good when things are good, and they do good when things are bad. Listen, there is a, how can I say, there is a safety net of simp niggas that will catch bitches if they fall. And the badder the chick, the bigger the safety net, right?
Yep.
So it's gonna be them chicks that had to go out and get a degree, had to go buy a house, had to do this or that to have their own shit because it wasn't no man coming to their rescue. Those are the chicks that's gonna be like, help me. And that's not the chicks that these niggas want. They want the baddie. The baddie is gonna be straight, no matter what. It's winner's not coming for them top 20% of chicks. It's not coming for them. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, dudes can fantasize all they want. You know what I mean? But the baddies are not calling Kevin Samuels talking about, I need a high value man, Kev.
And if she's still bad, that means she's still bad for her age, because that's the only ones that actually call him. So, yeah.
Right. Right. So, yeah, man, it ain't happening. It's not happening, bro.
Hell, even these dudes was thinking, even when it come from the chick, what was coming out of Dr. Cheyenne Bryans, like shout out to you, Marcus, and shout out to Tito, shout out to all the rest of y'all for putting this chick on blast. But media takeout, it ain't official to media takeout make it official. They found her stud girlfriend. They found her.
Oh, okay. What the stud say?
This man, the stud, it looked like a tip. All right, so at least this one looks like an upstanding young man, a young gentleman. At least they had like a suit on, trying to carry himself like a model citizen.
Right. See, we all put her on blast. Corey Holcomb put her on blast. A lot of
yes, not Corey too.
Yeah, a lot of people put her on blast, but the girls wanted to cling to this chick. Any chick that come through with a certification, a fake ass degree, or all she got to really say is I'm Dr. Somebody, right? It doesn't matter if there's truth to it, if it's real, if it's fake. They want it to be what it is. That's where we at nowadays. We in that space where, if somebody's saying they somebody and they saying the shit that we want to hear, we believe that they are who they say they are. You know what I mean? But then we'll question everybody else. You got people, matter of fact, shit. How about this? We got people that are lawyers, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's almost as like, yo, these cats think that the knowledge that these people have is limited to the schools they went to, as if we're not in the information age and everybody don't have access to this knowledge, right? Especially when you overinflate the value of the actual guy you talking about, right? If you're gonna say, well, somebody's a lawyer, well, put them in the proper context, because you can't just say a lawyer is a lawyer. There's different types of law.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
I mean, unless somebody gonna slip and bust their ass, these cats, certainly cats can't help us. They can't come help us, like unless you got you in a car accident or something like that, right? They not about to get laws passed, get this or that, bro. They ain't doing none of that. Again,
Yeah. Like you said in the chat, the chicks got the most voting right before anything. Like I told you before, they'll probably vote in that bachelor tax before anything else, before they try to get the so-called nation back on right. You're right.
Listen, you got hoes suing niggas for wasting their time. If you tell a chick, yo, let's go on a date, and you go on the date and they don't like the date, you got chicks that's suing niggas because they went out on a date and they ain't like the date, or they say, yo, I'm gonna do this, and they don't do it. Like, it could be some shit where it's like, yo, you got women that'll tell a nigga what to expect in a situation, and the what to expect don't happen, and them niggas ain't got no basis for a lawsuit. It's almost as if, yo, the state, because like I told you, because women outvote men. They outvote men. So these guys that want to get voted into office and they want a job in politics, they're gonna offer up laws and bills that favor the base that they're catering to. So right. So that's when you get shit like, rape by deception, or, I ain't gonna say that word too much.
Stealthing. Just say stealthing.
Yeah, well, that's another thing, stealthing. Right? Stealthing, they'll do that. What else was it? I was just gonna mention you'll get all types of things presented.
Palimony, we already talked about they actually suing them for days, for bad days. We got girlfriends suing what's the name for palimony. Like CGA said in the video, he said lawsuits are the new divorce, since they can't get our asses in marriage.
Right. I didn't realize he said that, but I'm gonna tell you, this is what I've been telling cats. I said, first of all, they're gonna start using certain language, and they already applying new definitions. I got a post on my Facebook right now where this girl is debating me over the nature of Kevin Gates and his 26-year-old girlfriend. She's using the R word to describe it, and I'm like, with the girl, the woman, I should say, is 26 years old. Like, how old do a woman got to be to not be a victim? Right.
All right, so she's 26 years old, so her frontal lobe is fully developed, right? You know what I'm saying? Is she past the age of 25, right? Right.
I mean, yeah, but this is the thing. Like, once we pass the frontal lobe discussion, right, it'll become about something else. Now these chicks are talking about, well, when she was 17, how old were you? That's what she said in the conversation. So now your age when she was a minor, right, is the argument. So, like, if you go back to her being 16, well, how old were you when she was 16? And if you were an adult when she was 16, then it's PDF file, right? So that's what I'm saying. Like, that's a new definition, bro. So now we find out that most people's brains don't become fully developed until they like way into their 30s, close to their 40s. You can't use that argument no more. And now you got to come up with something new. And all this is, huh?
I'm just trying to figure out. They'll go ahead and ridicule and criticize Kevin Gates, who I seen walking around my job about a week or so ago. I didn't know that was that nigga. Go figure. The nigga tall, big as fuck.
Oh, okay, yeah. You look it.
They'll ridicule and even try to go ahead and bring his whole brand down, but they won't say ish about Drea Michelle or fucking Brittany fucking Renner. I'll pass the mic right there.
Well, because like I said before, you were the slave and they are not. The master call the shots. You know what I'm saying? This all you got to do to define or to to see a slave dynamic. You see who creates the rules of engagement and who has to follow the rules, right? And that's how you know who the slave and who the master. If the black women, right, in black culture, if black women are they're being seen doing these things that they're telling black men directly, you can't do. You can't do what we do. You know, don't do as I do as I say.
Mm-hmm. Like
You
they
know,
mom. Wait a minute. I thought they weren't trying to be like they mama, but ironically,
I mean, did they say that? I don't know if they was trying to be. They not trying to be like they mama in the vein of certain things. Like, if they mama was a wife, if she made dinner, she did all of that. They not trying to be that. They try, if they mama wasn't having it, then they try to be like they mama, right? But but it goes back to the conversation between CGA and Andrew. It's like, yo, if this is what these chicks is on, right? How does your ecclesiastical strategy work? We can't get them to submit to nothing else. We gonna get them to submit to religion. You gonna tell these girls like, yo, God gonna get you? Like, how does that work? How does it work? How do you get them to submit to that? There's gonna be, like, you see all the Christian nationalism happening on the right. Hold on one second. You see all the nationalism happening on the right. Can you still hear me?
Oh yeah, I can still hear you loud and clear.
Yeah, so you see all of that happening on the right. And I think that black dudes are trying to latch on to that situation because they think that it's going to benefit them. They think that that's going to be the new strategy. This is like a morality war. It's another form of shaming. We're going to use religion to shame you back into submission. None of this stuff is going to work. It hasn't worked. They've been doing this stuff. This is not new. These dudes are trying to take the moral high ground with these hoes. They hoes, bro. Why are you trying to use morality on hoes, bro? Hoes, nigga. Like, they hoes, bro. It's
Well,
not.
They must not read their own so-called biblical text, because each prophet, each person throughout that whole entire Bible, from beginning almost to the end, they all had to deal with hoes. They could not save and shout out to the Most High's only begotten Son. Even he couldn't save these hoes.
Listen, man, I wish them all the luck in the world. Not necessarily that they accomplish it, but that they make it through their failure, because they're not gonna accomplish it. You know what I mean? Good luck with it. They're gonna live their whole entire lives and die trying to turn the ship around. It's not gonna happen.
I
And
don't know, Marcus. Hey, and shout out to your beautiful city, man. I'm thinking about banging that old Cool G rap, you know what I'm saying, in the streets of New York. They got basically mock Sharia law up in that particular city, especially the borough of the Bronx, with that little what's the name? Maybe the Christian God can get things done. Maybe they had to go ahead and submit to Allah. What would that be like? You know what I'm saying? How would that go ahead and play out if that ever kind of comes to fruition? That it took Eastern so-called culture to basically bring the West back in balance.
I don't think it's gonna work, bro. I don't think. I think shame by any other name is just the same. You got women who grew up into that, right? Unless, see, this is the thing, because fathers don't have control of the kids, right? Fathers don't have, and when I say that, I mean like in the massive sense, right? In the massive sense. So like if and here the if, right? If fathers had control of the kids, then they could raise the kids in that mindset, and then you have a different generation of women. But you don't have that. Once you remove the male figures from the house, now you got the female figures raising the kids to think the way we see people thinking, right? So you can't just convert these female raised sons and daughters to this ideology, because you got not just the chicks that ain't with it, but you got the simp dudes too.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have to put male figures back in these households, and I ain't talking about no weak male figures neither. They have to be male figures that see what's happening and deciding to say, you know what, we're gonna break this down. That's why you got a lot of dudes who are now against the whole single mother idea, the single mother strategy, is because they see what is done, right? You don't even want to be a stepfather, because even in the stepdad context, you don't really have that much authority over the minds of the kids and how to raise them into thinking and be the future adults of the society. You need to raise your own kids that you have power over, and that the woman is submitting power to you with, and raise them into your way of thinking. And that's how you create a new generation of cultured people who are cultured to do these things and think the way that we're talking about. You can't convert these old dogs to do new tricks. It's not going to work. It doesn't matter what religion or nothing. The only way you're going to convert a person's behavior that's been trained to do a certain thing is the law, because they don't want punishment. They don't want punitive action, right? That's the only way to get results from the current culture of the current generation, is to introduce laws, and we don't have the advantage when it comes to that. We don't have it, right? So again, what men are going to have to do is, they're going to have to procreate with women who will allow their presence to steer the next generation in the other direction. But what we got is a bunch of dudes that's telling us, you want your kids to look like you, go right back into the dungeon and recreate the same women, right? Procreate with these same women that got us here, and then you just get more of the same shit again and again and again. And that's not a strategy. experiments is not a strategy. You've experimented already. It's time to move on. We're past all of that stupid shit. It's time to move on with a strategy that you might not like, but you got to destroy and rebuild. And that's just what it is. You got to destroy and rebuild, not by tearing down your whole country and your whole economy and your stocks and your options and all that. But, you have to take your genetics elsewhere, right? And you're gonna create a new generation of people who think this way, because you got to raise them from puppies. You can't take teenagers and
Man,
shit, like
you're
you
right.
can't do that. It's not going to work that
Hey,
way.
after 7 years, like I told my chat before he came up here, I already told him like I was already like I do psychology and philosophy as a hobby, and
Right.
I took criminal justice in community college. My instructor literally told me, and sometimes it's actually I think it's probably proven too. Once you get to the past the age of 7, and certain kids, unless you have some type of circumstantial circumstance to happen to them, they pretty much got their whole what's the name already molded inside of them within 7 years.
Right.
So
Right. By that time, it's too late, man. And what these dudes are trying to do, they trying to turn the ship around on the voyage, and it's not going to work. It's not going to work that way, man. But again, these are hopeful guys. They, you want to shoot the messenger. It's all good.
yeah, I'm glad you up here now. That's what I want to go ahead. So when is dudes gonna finally take your philosophy again? And shout out to you for this. When is dudes gonna take your philosophy on instead of being the provider male? I could even say the savior male. Instead of being the savior male, being the desirable male. I mean, well, when they go actually follow that method?
I mean, the guys who it's going to be a very small group of guys who actually take that advice, man. You got too many guys. I talk to these guys, man. Like outside of the streams that we do, I actually talk to dudes, and they'll debate me or go back and forth with me over that right there that you mentioned, because they feel like they no matter what they do, they're gonna get the same result that they've been getting. They feel like they're gonna do a bunch of work, and ain't nothing gonna change. Like it's not worth it to do. And I tell these guys, I say, well, that's because you're thinking in the context, because they always return the same argument that these hoes are still gonna be single mothers, blah 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 blah. But my point to them is that means in your mind there ain't no other women but black women. So that means you're looking at it like there's no point in being that guy, because the only women that exist are these women, and whatever. But then you also complain that the guy that is the desired guy ain't got to do the stuff you got to do.
Exactly. You know what? I already told myself, you know what? I'll do the so-called community, the pro-black and these blacks a favor and still pursue my own endeavors. I already told myself, you know what, black man, why don't y'all go ahead and instead of trying to take cues and everything from all the other races of dudes, how about you just go for the gusto? Become like the United fucking Nations. How about you get a chick pregnant from each race, including the black one, since y'all want to go ahead and do the thing so much, and that way, not only you gonna have supplemental for the so-called community, you're gonna have one for the white ones, for the Latino ones, the Asian one. It's gonna, you know what? If every dude actually took that philosophy and said, you know what, why have one? Why can have all 5 of them?
Right. My thing is, look, why not take advice from the guy who looks like he's had success in the thing he's giving you advice on? Instead of taking advice with the guy that's struggling next to you. You know what I mean? Like,
Marcus, misery loves company.
I mean, misery loves company, and that implies that, yo, if I'm doing bad, I want the next nigga to do bad. But if you the guy that's trying to stop doing bad, why you gonna take advice from the other guy doing bad? Especially if what you said is true. If you taking advice from the other guy that's doing bad, why would he give you advice to not do bad while he's doing bad? If misery loves company, you don't take advice from the miserable, right? If you trying to escape misery, if you yourself are trying to escape misery, you don't listen to the miserable. They gonna give you instructions to fail because they don't want you to succeed. They're gonna hate you if you win, so they're gonna tell you how to lose.
Oh no, they're gonna hate you more, Marcus, if you help them. If you help the so-called downtrodden individual actually succeed, he'll probably hate you more for even helping him and acknowledging his own fucking failure.
Listen, man, it's the same reason why I get so much hate in the space. I'm not on these streams dissing niggas, saying niggas ain't shit. Y'all niggas need to man up. This, that, and the third, right? I'm on here. I'm telling the dudes what they might need to do to get through a situation with these chicks that they want. I mean, outside of that discussion, I just tell them, look, fuck these hoes, go somewhere else. Go where you want it. If black women like you, fuck with black women. If a black woman want to give you the box, take the box. But if you're on here complaining, not only will these chicks not fuck with you, right? They won't date you. They won't deal with you in any manner. We y'all niggas gonna stand outside of with picket signs, so to speak, right? On some y'all niggas gonna y'all bitches gonna give us service. And what I'm saying to these niggas is like, okay, if you're not the nigga that she gives all this, love to, space to, make excuses for, then what you can try to do as a strategy is make yourself is close, try to be the closest thing to that thing as possible. It doesn't mean you got to go rob the liquor store or sell drugs and none of that stupid shit. Because I find that women like the aesthetic of the street dude, not necessarily the street dude. Like, girls ain't looking for niggas that's actually committing crimes. They looking for the dudes that have the aesthetic, right? If the dude wasn't committing crimes, they wouldn't have a problem with that, right?
Yeah, long as he look like he played a part like he in a Mob Deep video, then they gone.
Right. Look and play the part. Meaning, not only does he have the look, but he has the demeanor, the energy, all of those things, right? A lot of these guys, and I understand, they can't bring themselves to be that, right? And I get it. Some guys just don't got it to adapt. If you can't do that, you got to shop elsewhere, bro. Because they're not going to become the thing you want, just like you're not going to become the thing they want. And that's just how that works. So you got to shop elsewhere. But as I understand, when you grow up around black women, that's the first woman you're attracted to. That's how you coach it. It's difficult to do that. It's difficult to say, I'm going to just fuck with Becky, even if, I done grew up in the hood. I done grew up in South Side. Or I grew up in Bed-Stuy. I grew up in Compton. Wherever you from and you've been around black women all your life, that's what is going to catch your attention first. And that's understandable. It's reasonable. But, you're going to do everything you can to put yourself in a bad space. Fucking with these chicks is dangerous. So what I try to tell guys, not only to, make themselves into the worm that catches the fish, but also take measures to protect yourself. If you know that these are the women that do all the terrible things, if we watch all these videos and we see all these news articles, whether they on the paper or on the internet, of these women doing all these terrible things, why would you just jump in the water, with no life preserver, or jump out the window without a parachute when you're dealing with these females? you're dealing with them as if they're not those women.
Right.
Which shows me stupidity on your part. I'm gonna tell you the truth, man. I'm gonna keep it real with you. I'm gonna keep it a buck. It would seem to me that a lot of the men that watch our videos, and consume this content, they might be developmentally dysfunctional, bro. And that's that's me putting it lightly. That's me putting it lightly, bro. Like,
I mean, I mean, yeah. I mean, and you talking
it is
to
what it is,
an
man.
Audi too. You talking to an Audi too. Besides Tito, I'm also an Audi. But yeah, we both can see that. Yeah, bro. Yeah.
Right. So it's one thing to be Audi. It's another thing to really struggle with these ideas. You're not going to turn the ship around, bro. The ship is headed for the iceberg and it's going to hit the iceberg. The question is, will you be on the ship when it happens?
Which particular ship do you want me to be on, a sinking ship, or I'm gonna finagle my way on the lifeboat and save myself? Because I'm looking at the latter.
I mean, the lifeboat, the life preserver, whatever it is, bro. Like, whatever it is, man. You know, there's different ways to escape. There's different ways to get off that ship, get off that boat, and you know that's what gotta happen. You know,
Yeah, great metaphor, by the way. I mean, shit, sinking ship, life boat, women and children.
Yeah, the life preserve. Well, I mean, you know, the iceberg. You know, I mean, we making Titanic references. At the end of the day, man, the Titanic was a great ship. It was built big luxury liner, whatever, you know, whatever it was supposed to be, whatever it was touted as. So, like, even when, you know, if that ship is the Communita, which is great in theory, right? Or whether you want to call it marriage, which is great in theory. Like, they started out that conversation, CGA and
Andrew Wilson,
and talking about how great of an institution marriage is. No, it was that once upon a time. The only argument they can now make or can even attempt to make is, oh, marriage is good for children. Yeah, but you're selling marriage to men, not children. Men, the children don't get married. How is the marriage good for the men? You can't say, well, marriage is good for men because the children. No, how is marriage good for men? You're saying marriage is good for children. That's not even the same thing. So that when Andrew returns to CGA, oh, you don't have a problem with marriage, you got a problem with divorce. My response to him was, well, you're recommending marriage for children, not men.
and
You're
ironically, they forget this fact. They say they never put in this aspect. Marriage is good for a man for his children, his own children. They always leave that part out.
right, but even not necessarily. See, this is the thing, and I've done streams, and you've seen those streams where I even question the validity of that argument. But even if we leave that to the side for a second, that's usually the argument they make. Nobody is making the argument that men benefit in marriage. They only benefit by virtue of maybe their kids might come out a certain way.
That part.
Maybe. And that's a huge maybe. You can't sell me on. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Marriage in the context, in theory, even to do with the lizard brain, even the so-called low IQ, if you want to go ahead and get down to damn the Forrest Gump fucking level, that biologically, marriage only benefits the man for his own children, verified that he consummated with this woman, and it's only them that particularly made this particular child. Unless I'm missing some part of the so-called biological earthly experience as a human being, I don't understand what's the whole point of getting married unless that was it. And unfortunately, a lot of men over the
Yo, did you cut off?
Like I said, they say marriage is for the children, but is marriage really for his children?
That's even if they're his children. And
That
that's
part.
another. See, okay, so then another aspect of the conversation that they had did not even touch. They spent more time talking about divorce than the actual issues within the marriage itself. So when you ask, well, is marriage good for men? Well, Andrew jumps to, well, you have an issue with divorce, not marriage. Well, me personally, me, Marcus, I have issues with things that are actually inside the marriage pre-divorce. The reason you get to divorce is because there's issues. There's issues to begin with. And the way you avoid a divorce is by men doing a whole bunch of leaps and bounds and jumping through flaming hoops and things like that to maintain it. That's a problem within marriage.
Yeah. Endless shit testing with a whole bunch of humiliation rituals, depending on how long you want to stay. Whether it be 5 years, 7 years, 10 years. We have barely seen anybody in the last 20-some years actually have a 20+ year marriage. Let's be real.
Right. So, again, I asked the question the last time I spoke on this on my channel, what do men get in a marriage that they don't get outside? Right? That's worth the risk. Because when you're a guy, you're married, the whole marriage thing is risk versus reward, right? That's the whole thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what is the reward for your risk that you have to risk to get? There's really nothing that these guys can say. Oh, well, you can't get this outside of a marriage, so that you got to get into the marriage to get this thing, and it's worth the risk that you're taking on by going into the marriage in the first place, right? If I can get something, if I can get something, they say, well, if you jump off this mountain without a parachute, we'll give you $1 million. But if you don't, we'll give you $1 million. What we gonna do? We not gonna jump, and we gonna take the money.
You damn right.
Right. So what's the point unless you're just a thrill seeker? What do you take on the risk for if the reward is the same, right? What is the reward in marriage that's not available outside of it? And for a lot of these guys that are defending marriage, the answer is steady pussy, and that's even a risk. That's even a risk. What they're risking for their marriage is constant pussy, because as single men, they don't have a source of regular sex, and that's what this is really about. They won't say it for their pride, but what they're basically saying is, we don't fuck regularly. If we had a wife, we'd fuck regularly. And the amount of sexless marriages disproves that. So when you throw all of these things at them, they'll ignore all of it, and then they'll bring up children, right? Because they got to give you a reason that they think that you can't deny or debate. Like, but it's for the kids, man. So you telling me you not getting married for you? Nothing here in this marriage is for you. It's all sacrificial because you're just this great guy. You're this good guy. You're morally godly.
Morally superior.
Right. Morally, I wanted to go past morally superior. You're the god of morality. You're so great. You don't care what happens to you in the marriage as long as the kids come out great, right? Come on, man. Listen, if I want kids, I'll go to the poorest fucking country with the poorest Latino bitch or some shit like that, or the poorest black chick. Have a kid with her. They will live there, right? Mm-hmm. And one day maybe I'll bring my kid to the States. That bitch will stay where the fuck she's at.
That's right.
But she will behave, and she will benefit from the involvement, right? She'll benefit from the involvement, but she ain't gonna be put in position to fuck me over. And the thing is, these guys, a lot of them are too soft. They too soft in their approach to think about themselves in that manner, that to put themselves in a position not to get played, because they are so fucking sacrificial. They think that's manhood. They think manhood is putting themselves up on the chopping block, sacrificing their own self-interest for everyone else's benefit. And they think that is what makes them a real man, because that's what they grew up being taught.
Mm-hmm.
And they think anybody that's talking like me is an asshole. We're evil. We're morally, bankrupt, and all of these
degenerates.
Right.
There the wells and all the everything in between. Like literally before you came up here, I literally said this, and I quote: "Look, men want to go ahead and fall on the proverbial sword, and not knowing that when they fall on it, they very same women is gonna step on them to make them fall deeper on the sword and step on their head as they walk by."
Right, but they're cool with it. A lot of these, they feel like, yo, Lord, my kid, in their mind, Lord, if the kids come out okay, I'll let her do all of this. And then your kids come out fucked up anyway. They hate you. They get told by their mother you ain't shit. And it's all for nothing. So you did all of that. You destroyed yourself. You allowed yourself to be destroyed. And the outcome that you were trying to avoid still takes place. We've seen this for generations.
And everybody getting rich off of that same scenario. The judge, the lawyers, the whole entire system, child support, everybody getting rich off of this. You know what I'm saying? And they keeping tabs on you because don't you fall in arrears, boy. Don't you fall in arrears.
You just you end up just being another fool for that system. So for any man that refuses to do that, man, if you're intelligent, and this is why, a lot of times I'm like, these guys that, these supposed to be intelligent. Some of these guys are educated guys. And I'm like, for all your education, for all your intelligence, you still, it's like what one girl said. She's like, women are smart on paper, but you see their life decisions and shit contradict their intelligence on paper. I know women are educated on paper, and then education is not intelligence. You know what I mean? So your capacity to be educated can demonstrate intelligence, but education itself is not intelligence, right? But
yep.
mind you, I'm the guy they call a Pookie because I wear a Yankee cap. You feel me?
A Yankee cap to the back, sir.
Yeah, Yankee cap to the back. The funny thing is, when I came to this space, I ain't wear no ball cap. I wore a British flag cap. The newsy cap. That's why you from the Chi, man. You from where the Italians is at, man. You've seen this. You know what I'm saying? So like, that's how I used to rock. And then one day I throw on a Yankee cap, and now you want to throw my argument away because I got a Yankee cap on. That also demonstrates how black men see themselves. Is like, okay, you go from smart to unintelligent and hood because of what you put on your head, and you're kind of adopting the same white supremacist view of black men that other people have, right? So it's like, okay, if it's that easy to do that, you can't then get mad when the shit affects you, right? So at the end of the day, what I'm saying is this, bro. We got the men and women that we have. This is what we have to work with. Period. Like, it is this or nothing, right? And in the physical space that we occupy, which is this planet Earth in 2025, it is an impossibility to enact what Andrew is talking about. The only thing that he made sense with is changing laws, and it's difficult to do that unless you get a good amount of women on board to vote along with the men, right? And the only way to really do that, like after the old generation of white women die, forget about it. The generation of white women that voted for Trump are the only ones that can get this moving. Nobody else is gonna do it. What up, New?
What up, New?
Yeah, the older generation of white women that vote Trump in every time he runs, those are the women that's gonna get your laws in play. And mind you, they voted for Trump. He's a president. That's a federal federal election. So the collection of white women that voted Trump in is spread out over multiple states. There aren't enough of them in these states to get laws passed in these particular states to affect what we're talking about. And it definitely ain't gonna affect no niggas. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care what religion you get or approach you take. These chicks, with all the dysfunction, all the bad reading scores, is like what Ty City and all the niggas that we supposed to hate. It's like all of them say, at the end of the day, bro, they know they don't give a fuck. They don't care. They know what's going on. They are about their freedom of movement, their ability to be hoes and this type of thing. And they not giving that shit up for nothing. Now that they got it, they're not giving it up for nothing. As long as they can eat, be somewhere to sleep, whatever. And they'll do that in the worst conditions and situations. Like, they only want luxury when they with niggas. When women are by themselves, they'll deal with the struggle. They'll struggle by themselves. I'll do bad by myself, right? They'll deal with struggle alone. They only look for that luxury when you come around. When they fucking a nigga, they want the world. They'll sacrifice the world for their freedom when they're single. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what it is, bro. They're about their freedom of movement with their box. We see this dude showing up. You see they showing up? What's good, people? What's good, niggas? See Chaos Reign is in the building.
Chaos, what up? What's good, bro? What's good? Make sure y'all subscribe to Chaos Reign. You know what I'm saying? He's in the chat. And make sure y'all subscribe to Shaka as well. You know what I'm saying? I'm seeing him going live too. But let me go ahead and highlight what Shaka said. Shaka said, I think most are missing the changing laws part. It sounds good for men, not females. What would make dudes think that chicks would want to get married with no incentives? Right. I said, and then I tell you this in the chat earlier. I said, these dudes, they want 1950s outcomes, but they also want these shits to go through the Great Depression with them like it's the 1930s for us to just to make sure that she really likes him for him.
Right, but I also said, listen, I said on one of the streams, and I said to you, I said, yo, bro, the whole purpose of these chicks getting married is for them to have guarantees. That's the reason they get married in the first place, because they want guarantees. They're not getting married just to be a wife and serve some nigga. They getting married because of the fail safes. You understand what I'm saying? And Shaka is correct. He said, yo, it sounds good for men. Men, as much as we talk about the solipsism of females, men can't get out of their mind and think like how a female think. And think why she would make certain decisions for her benefit. All they can think of is, well, the bitch should do this because it'll benefit me and it'll benefit the family, without thinking of, if women are selfish, you got to think how the selfish person thinks and say, you know what? This is a selfish plan of action. This is why these women do this. It's the same reason why women don't want to get married in their 20s. Is because they got a bunch of dudes giving them gifts and flying them places and shit like that. And all niggas can think about, but it'll be good if they get married so that we don't have to marry old bitches and they'll be married. They won't be old bitches complaining about men or whatever. And the other part of that is women think in the moment. They think in the now. Today, I got 8 niggas want to take me to dinner. I got 8 niggas sending me money through Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, whatever. Right? I got 8 niggas doing that. They not thinking, yo, in 10 years, ain't nobody gonna be hollering at me. I ain't gonna be getting no money. They living their life today. When they get there, they gonna get to that bridge. They gonna get there and they gonna deal with that shit when they get there. But today, they living it. They not giving a fuck. you know, Tito was on it, I think, today. He said, you know, the level of the lack of foresight these bitches have is amazing. Let me tell you something, bro. Since I'm in high school, I've always had this saying. When I say when I was in high school, I'm dead ass. I say, yo, when I was in high school, I used to be like, yo, I don't think women can see 5 minutes into the future. I said this as a fucking teenager, bro. I said, yo, I don't think that these women think 5 minutes into the future. They don't. They think of right now. And then 5 minutes later, they might be on another page. Not only will they not be able to think 5 minutes past that, but they don't even remember the bitch they was 5 minutes ago. How many times niggas been approached by a bitch? Now that the nigga doing better or something changed, they forget how they treated the nigga, and they approaching you like y'all good.
Let's go and play this real quick. You know, what up? No news. What up?
Oh shit, they piling in. They piling in. What's good, brothers?
Look what happened in Germany when divorce became legal. Them bitches don't get half of what American chicks get, and they up and bounce. Damn. The super fly gamer, cool some. What's good, bro? Long time. Shout out to Mr. Palmer with the quote, Sky Daddy.
Yo, shout out to No News. What's good, No News?
Yep, shout out to No News. You know what I'm saying? You know, always coming up with them posting and everything. Like this chick had to find out in the chat real quick. I'm still gonna do a pre-recorded video to this part of the mom will chop this up. But yeah, like listen to this shit. They when they get to this point, this is the only time they ask for so-called marriage, help, and everything. Let's go ahead and take a listen real quick, y'all.
Kevin Samuels was right. I hate to admit that so much. But got to give credit where credit is due. Kevin Samuels was right. Ladies, winter is coming. And last night proved to me that I need a man. For real. Because I almost died in my room. It was 30 degrees in Houston last night. My toes almost froze off. Unfortunately, we got to stop with this strong, independent bullshit, because when it gets cold outside, we cannot cuddle up with our independence. Okay? Yes, I have an amazing blanket and central heat and all that stuff. I didn't turn the central heat on last night because I didn't know it was going to be so cold, but that's neither here nor there. The point of the matter is, I should have been cuddling up with my man. Okay? I should have been increasing my body heat when it was cold. But you know what I was doing? Laying my strong, independent, stupid ass in the bed by myself. Now, let me tell you something. I'm done being single. I've been saying this for months, and I'm so serious. I am done being single. I want to love and cater on somebody with warm flesh. Okay? I want to honor and respect somebody who can keep me warm. I'm sorry. Y'all got this single shit by yourself. I am done with it. I am done with it. It is so bad right now that I might go ahead and go to the gas station and scoop up that homeless man that proposes to me every time I fill my tank up. I mean, I could tell if I clean him up a little bit, give him a little haircut, he might be kind of fine. Okay? That's how cold I was last night. Kevin Samuel.
All right. Now since we talked it and this tidy, I got more, but you know, go ahead with your commentary though.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Hold on. Can you hear me? I don't know if you can hear me.
I can hear you. I can hear you.
I can't hear you.
Oh shit. You can't hear me now? You still can't hear me? Hey, chat, can you hear me? Oh, you're gonna come right back up. You're gonna come right back up. Yeah, I got some more. You know what I'm saying? We come back up, but let's go ahead and take some more of a listen of this Andrew. Oh, there you go. Damn.
Yeah, I couldn't hear you for a second.
Yeah. But what you think about that situation? Everybody in the chat, what y'all think about that situation right there?
It sound good. Sound good. I don't this is the thing, right? Girls, women, they'll say that shit until dude actually show up. Like she said, she's been saying it all this time. That means she ain't been nowhere where she see a dude that was I guess good enough to act on what she's talking about with, or I mean, look, I've said it before. I don't want to be with no chick that's with me out of duress, whether it be my duress or she's going through some shit where she need a dude. I forgot who we was just talking about. Somebody just did a stream talking about, do you like a lot of guys say they don't want to be needed. I don't want to be needed. I want to be wanted. You don't want a woman.
Hood. It was I literally said that on Hood Conservative stream the other day.
Oh, that was you. Okay. Right. I was listening to, okay, I guess that was you. So like, say what you said to Hood, so I don't misunderstand.
So I said women tell gaslight men by talking about like I'm strong and independent. I don't need no man. I want a man though. You don't want you want to be needed. Why don't you just want to be wanted? Because that's one of the biggest gaslight bullshits in the entire world. I know what you're trying to say when you want us. See, wants can change.
Well, so can needs, because if to let's say the EBT shit, right? Bitches might need a nigga while shit is fucked up, but after the shit is over, they good again. They don't need the nigga no more, right? Once can change, but once, to me, a want is a more is more natural or more real. Is realer than a need. I don't want a chick to need me, because a chick may need you today but might not need you tomorrow. Anybody that shows up and fills that need is suitable. And the chick pick who she want. She don't pick who she need. You know what I'm saying? She just said she'll go pick the homeless dude outside because she was cold, right?
Man,
you think she want that dude? No, she need him because she cold. She like, you know what? If I go clean him up, da 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 da. If not for her situation, she wouldn't consider that guy.
Hold that thought. Hold that thought. Let me go ahead and press play because you just touched on something. I want this young lady go ahead and basically give her description of the situation since this whole thing about needing. Listen to this.
I am so glad we're talking about men weaponizing food in household. This is one of the main reasons I'm so glad I will never have to have a man in my house, because men feel entitled to the food of the house and will exhibit a level of control over it that can become so extreme in nature that even other people within the household will starve at the expense of men having more food in the house. For example, everybody may get 2 pieces of chicken, but suddenly your father or your older brother is getting 4 pieces each. And these people might not even eat all this food, or they force themselves to eat all this food in an effort to exert some type of dominance or control over the food source in all. And if ever you raise your voice to say, hey, some of us also need to eat, suddenly the providing is thrown back in your face. And this man might not have even bought this food. Typically, it's the women of the household buying the groceries. And in the modern day and age, it's also their money being used to do it. But especially if you're a child speaking up to, say, an older male relative, they will use not only their added years as justification, but also the fact that they may be a growing boy or a grown man. And even the women of the house may be told to limit what they're eating or be given these rude notions whenever they're making a play, insinuating that they should have less food on theirs. And this, of course, comes at the expense of sacrificing the less food for others to have more food on the basis of sex within one family unit's household. And it goes beyond even just at the dinner table. Even if you bring food home for yourself, these same men will eat your food. They know it's yours. I remember having to leave labels on my food. I remember having to hide food just so the men of the household wouldn't use food as a resource by which to further oppress you, especially if that was something normalized in the household. And they will eat things you spent your hard earned money for, and they'll be like, I'll pay you back though. But it still doesn't replace the labor of you having to go and get, and sometimes even food you've cooked for yourself, they will eat. And this is why it's important to teach your sons how to cook for themselves so they don't automatically become a nuisance and a pest wherever they go, and also become a heightened abuser because of how they view food, especially through the lens of the fact that they cannot prepare their own. Living amongst men, you really get to see how they are and their selfishness and what aspects of life will bring it up. It's important to make sure you have a selfless partner, especially when that partner is a man, especially if you are trying to raise a family with him, because he will starve you and your children out as long as it means his belly is full.
I never heard no chick ever make this complaint. This is brand new. Like, if she's talking about, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you loud and clear.
If she's talking about she lived with a bunch of brothers or cousins or something like that, but I've never heard about no dudes starving their family out, starving the kids out because they like, you cooking for a whole family. He gonna eat the whole family shit? Like, he gonna eat the whole pot of chicken?
That Mister from Color Purple, boy.
Bro, what is she talking about, bro? This isn't a problem that we're having across the culture. Like, yo, dudes is just eating all the food. Half of these chicks don't got men living in the house.
Bro, you think the last chick, you don't see, she was looking for homeless.
So who's eating all your food? What is this? Must be some random dude that these chicks is finding. Like, these are the dudes. Yo, you could tell what kind of niggas that these chicks are fucking with just by how they complain. Just about how they complain. You telling me if a dude works 16 hours at the plant, he gonna come home and eat all the food before the kids could eat? He gonna eat all the food so you can't eat? Like, who are these chicks talking about, yo? Who they talking about?
Hey,
I'm not saying these
remember,
situations.
dude. You remember that video? Remember that video of a dude that worked a whole 12-hour or 16-hour shift at work, and he came home and his wife didn't even make him nothing to eat. You remember that video? And he was spazzing out, saying like, "Damn, you supposed to be my wife and everything. Why you couldn't even make me a sandwich or anything, man? I just did a whole 12-hour shift." Like, bro.
That plus Amiri complaining his wife wouldn't make her no salmon.
Bro,
he wanted salmon. That's where that whole joke came from. He posted the plate that she made him a pita, like it was like a tortilla bread with a bunch of like some bell peppers and carrots sitting on that shit. He couldn't get no salmon. So I created a GoFundMe so niggas would give money so they could buy him some salmon. You don't remember that, bro? I did a GoFundMe
Not
for
the salmon fund. Not the salmon fund. Damn.
I did a salmon fund. I was gonna send him the salmon. I know where to find that nigga. That's why he stopped fucking with me, because I know where to find that nigga. But I'm like, yo, bro, I will send you the salmon, bro. I'll order. I ain't gonna send you raw salmon. I'm gonna order that shit on some Uber Eats shit. Niggas give me enough bread. Look, $100, $50, whatever it costs. Go get some salmon from a nice restaurant, man. Have it sent to your doorstep, man. Bust that shit down, bro.
Hey, maybe you should got the Jamaican spot. Give him the jerk salmon. You know what I'm saying? Spice it up a little bit for the nigga. You know what I'm saying?
Whatever. These dudes is suffering in these marriages, bro. These chicks talking this shit about niggas is eating all the food so the kids are starving. I don't know nobody like this, bro. Yo, what the fuck?
And she dead serious, bro. You see the look on her face? She dead serious. It's like,
yo, bro. I don't know, man. She must be living around special type of individuals. I ain't never heard no shit like that ever.
Man, she got the little cheap keep. She got the little cheap keep on dress. She might be here in Chicago. I don't know though. You know, I ain't here to say Joe or anything. You know what I'm saying, or bro or anything. So I don't know. Yeah,
right.
But yeah, now they come with this argument. So this is the next level of so-called oppression. You know what I'm saying? So it's cool that we go ahead and put food in the refrigerator from our labor. You know what I'm saying? Literally, a man doesn't eat. I mean, if a man doesn't work, he doesn't eat, right? But
Right.
look, you heard what this most educated running running circles around us ninjas.
Yeah, man. I don't. Yo, everybody I know, all the dudes that I know that are married, yo, bro, it's niggas I know that eat out before they even get to the crib. They not even eating what the kids is eating at home, or everybody orders out. You know what I'm saying? You know, niggas would be like, yo, let's do the Uber Eats thing, and everybody get their own plate. I don't know nobody like what she talking about, bro. Like, what the fuck is she talking about, bro? These chicks be making up fucking epidemics, man.
Yeah, only epidemic they following under from is the Tyler Perry universe. That particular universe really messed up these chicks' heads. You know what I'm saying? I think they're gonna have to have like group therapy sessions on Tyler Perry drama movies and everything in the next years to come. You know, I might even start. Don't laugh, hey man. I'm already thinking about starting a course on social media at one of these colleges. You know what I'm saying? Try to give me some government grants, man. I got to find to get that money some way somehow. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna get that money. I'm gonna find a way. I'm gonna find a way. But this is who they want us to marry, though. Marcus. This is who they want us to marry, though.
Man, listen, man. You already know where I stand when it comes to some of the messages that are spreading through this space, man. I think that we got guys who are here, you know, especially our Gen Xers, our Gen X content creators who are basically telling men and sometimes even telling young men to do this for the children and for the community and this and this and this, and they pro-black marriage and all this other dumb shit. Like, yo, bro, I thought we was past this bullshit. I thought we was past it. I thought we was moving on to the next page. We done created whole movements about moving on to the next thing, and you got motherfuckers just trying to lead these dudes right back to the reason we started this shit in the first place. That's not what we are here for. We're not here to tell motherfuckers to go right back to this shit that they trying to escape. And these dudes are thinking, I'm gonna say this in the name, like they always trying to shame men with either the community or the children. They always trying to do that shit. This is what the women try to do. Now you got content creators doing it. Yo, it's for the children, yo. You don't want your kids to come out fucked up. Nigga, they gonna come out fucked up anyway,
Man,
fucking women. The best thing a
of
man can do for his children is not choose a psychopath as their mother.
or a psychopath stepfather like this one. Let me play.
All right, I'm back again to hit you with some knowledge about why men are so terrified right now. Studies have been conducted that women can make babies with other women without men. Yes, you heard that right. We do not need anything from a man to create a baby. The result? We will only have women children. So now let's talk about evolution. Women have had to survive in the society we live in today because of the threats of violence against us. So as we evolve, we become more consciously aware of what is actually happening to us in order to survive. And this deep-rooted consciousness that is happening with women all over the world, and I mean all over the world, is absolutely terrifying to the male species. They have used power and control in order to shut us up and put us in the corner. But what they don't understand is that we are too conscious. We have become too conscious, and you can't take consciousness away from a human. Now, in order for the male species to survive, they must evolve too. And this is absolutely terrifying to them because they've lived in the comforts of their safety for so long. And as we bring consciousness to the male species, they now understand that women actually hold all of the power. Women decide whether the universe procreates and continues. So I say all of this to really say it's time to evolve. Each and every one of us. It's time to evolve and make this world a better place.
Okay, so there's some things I immediately see with that. First of all, she's Ellen DeGeneres level diked out, right? Let's start there. Okay, let's start
That
there.
shit crazy second. That shit crazy second.
Right. Let's start there. I mean, to be honest, feminism has always been a lesbian movement. It's always
That
been a
part.
lesbian movement. Like in order for you to be a you gotta not like men to be a feminist, right? You gotta not like men, right? Because it doesn't make sense outside of that context. You gotta not like men, right? You gotta have some sort of in order to be like, oh, we don't need men, right? You don't hear men saying they don't need women. You don't hear men say that. You don't hear them say. I mean, but it's for the most part true. Like for the most part, the only thing men need women for is procreation. Now, I mean, before I even get to the scientific aspect of what she actually said, right? Before I even get to that, right? All this stuff she's talking about, men holding them down and this and that and power and blah, 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 blah. And, we control, procreation. No, you control that. You don't control that. We've given you liberties. We've given you liberties on that aspect. We've given you the right to do this or the right. Men have given women the right to blah, 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 blah. In order for women to do anything, men have to say, okay, we're cool with that. There's nothing women can enforce in terms of their rights. Nothing. Absolutely nothing, right? They don't have any, they can't enforce it. They can't, make men say, yo, we're gonna do this and y'all not gonna get in our way. They have no enforcement at all. Right? So they have this full sense of power where at the end of the day, if tomorrow men decided, yo, we gonna put y'all in cause they all scared of what is it, The Handmaid's Tale or some shit like that. They watch this show where they like, oh, we gonna be in shackles and that shit could happen tomorrow.
They scared of Handmaid's Tale, but they want to go ahead and vote in so-called Islamic communists and such. But go ahead.
Well, they want it under the context of them being in control of shit. And the problem is we got too many pussy-starved dudes that hand the shit over to them and fight us on their behalf. And that's why I really don't like simp niggas or simp conversations or anything that smell like simping to me. I hate it because, like I said on Facebook, behind every out-of-pocket female is a male enabler. They won't be able to, they can't do none of the shit that they're doing without male assistance, without male backup. They can't do it. They physically can't do it. They can't do it. So you get a bunch
hold
of
that thought real quick.
Go ahead.
Hold that thought real quick. I got a donation. Shout out to the International Quiet Storm, wherever you are. You are chilling in the cloud somewhere, man. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate the $10 on the Cash App, bro. Don't let that brother be alone. Let me go ahead and get this out the way real quick.
Yeah, I need some wet shit. I need some. Yeah, I need some wet shit. I need some bad yeah. I'm a little man, yeah. Kiss on your belly, yeah. She got that wet shit, yeah.
Oh no, don't tell me I got technical difficulties like black.
Hey, fuck me like you want me. Pull them thongs
Yeah, appreciate it again, bro. Appreciate it again. We in here. Yeah, we in here. Appreciate it, bro. Appreciate it. Go ahead, Marcus. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was just saying, trying to remember what I was saying, man. Where did we leave off?
Oh, sorry for the distraction with other tetes. I'm sorry about that. Over here at American Douchebag Productions, we like to be like ODB. We like to keep it raw. We like it raw over here.
Yeah, man. So at the end of the day, man, like,
oh, that crazy dyke bitch we just got to watching.
Oh yeah, the dyke chick. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So let's get to the part. What up, TIQ? What's going on, man? So let's get to the part where she's talking about. Huh?
That his name, the International Quiet Stone.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Hey, bro, what's good, man? So this part of the conversation where she was talking about that women will be giving birth to women. They've studied that women don't need anything from a man to procreate. How? I want to see that. How?
Well, it seems so. We came so far with science and all these things. They literally talking about they can go ahead and make a baby. Unless immaculate conception is a thing. I don't know, bro. I mean, they barely got enough semen in the damn sperm banks to even do this out there. I'll just go ahead and leave it like that.
No, but that would be getting sperm is from men. So I'm trying to understand. Like, I'll have to look this up to see what procedures they talking about where they won't need anything from men, meaning sperm. It means you don't need sperm either. Women giving birth to women. How you doing that? Like, you ain't doing that.
Yeah, that part kind of got me because I'm like, so you gonna make women to make more women, but who's gonna sleep with those said women? Who's going to take care of those so-called women when the remainder of men that's gonna be outside the door still? They don't think this thing through.
I mean, I don't know who's gonna fix the plumbing and who's gonna wire the housing and who's gonna pour the concrete and who's going to do all of this stuff. Like, I'm trying to understand, like, how does your society function? I mean, aside from your biological revolution, how does your societal system continue without men? You're going to have nothing but women. Okay, who builds your bridges?
I got it. They're gonna find a way to make all men transgender men or women. That's how they're gonna do it. They're gonna find a way.
No, but they're giving birth to women.
I know they're gonna find some scientific method to go ahead and put the what's the name they're gonna find a way. They got witchcraft on their side, Marcus. Remember that too. They got witchcraft, mad scientists, all that.
Okay. All right. I ain't worried about none of that bitch talking about happening. It's not happening. That's another that's more fantasy. See, like, look, when these chicks talk crazy, I kind of expect it. I don't want to, be in a situation or be in a circle of dudes just saying wild nonsense. You know what I'm saying? Like, this wild, crazy nonsense. Like, nah, I'll pass on that. We can laugh at the women saying crazy shit like we won't need men to procreate. Okay, no doubt. Who's developing these scientific breakthroughs? Like, they're trying to make sperm obsolete. Like, okay, all right, no doubt. I yeah, okay. I don't take these chicks serious.
Yeah, you can't take them chicks serious for real. Hold on. the super fly game of Coulson said they are getting it from animals. Probably they are. He said they are gooners. Yeah, I guess women could goon too. I guess they for some they could do the same thing. If men can goon, they could goon too. Let's take a little more of a listen to this conversation with Andrew Wilson and CGA for a little bit. Let's go ahead. We got all the other stuff on why dudes shouldn't get married out the way with all the so-called examples that I brought to the screen. You know what I'm saying? I find it crazy. I touched all the talking points that you had talked in your what's name videos. Let's go ahead and take a little bit of what CGA and Andrew Wilson about to say for a little bit. I'm gonna pause. I'm gonna pause when you want me to. Also,
particular point. If someone asked me, would I recommend marriage for them, and they were in a certain position in life, they weren't established, I would say no. There's no benefit for the person to get married today.
Got it. Your response, Andrew?
Yeah, I didn't hear any anti-marriage arguments. I heard anti-divorce arguments. So I'm with you on divorce, 100%.
Stream over.
And
but you agree.
But it's a good thing that the topic isn't on divorce; it's on marriage. And it seems like you agree with my proposition then. And the proposition is that marriage, quote, is a great institution.
Yep.
And that
is it really, Andrew? If it's such a great institution, why everybody's arguing about it? Why these women talking about they'll want to be married and get mad at men that don't want to be married? Also, ironically, well, why is these news propagandized news outlets like CNN, MSNBC, even on the Wall Street Journal, all the posts and all these editorials, they keep on talking about this thing called marriage crisis. Women want to go ahead and don't want to be married unless they spouses make a certain type of money. And in the same breath, they spouses gotta have a so-called aesthetic looking that pleasing to the eye. On top of that, he gotta be the bomb and so-called bed. On top of that, on top of that, and on top of that, on top of that.
Well, let's start here. Divorce is a component of marriage. You can't get divorced without first getting married. Let's start there. Secondly, if marriage is this great institution, why do we even get divorced? The divorce rate wouldn't be so high if marriage was this great institution. You'd have low rates of divorce because most people would not want to, dissolve the marriage because it's great, right? You don't want to stop fucking good pussy, right? If anything that's great about anything, nobody wants to like get out of it. You know what I'm saying? If you got a nice job, you don't quit. If a nice restaurant that got nice food, you keep going there. If your feet are comfortable in certain shoes, you keep buying those shoes. Anything that's great, nobody wants to abandon it. They want to stay. They want to keep fucking with it if it's great. If marriage is great, why do the behaviors of human beings tell us otherwise? That means there is something going on inside the marriage that makes people want to get the fuck out of it. Nobody wants to leave great shit. If it's great, why are people leaving? Why do the women are the ones, the first ones in and the first ones out are women. The women want to get married and they're the first ones that want to end the marriage.
Mm-hmm. And everybody know it, especially the least desired lowest married women. They want only get married after they 40 with 2-3 baby daddies. Hop on Kendrick G show and basically ask her to help to find a high value man. That part.
All right. So I'm gonna just say this, bro. Right? There's nobody in this space that will debate me on this topic and win. Nobody. I don't care. It could be Andrew. It could be whoever. Nobody's going to debate me on this topic and win. My points will be as strong as a vice grip. Again, I'm the guy I use crayons when I write contracts and sign my name and all of this other stupid shit. Nobody will jump on the screen and debate this topic or panel and debate this topic with me. Nobody. And first I'm gonna do the religious stream, and then I want to do a stream about marriage. I'm gonna set it up. I'm gonna drop the link, and let's see how many people jump on that shit. You know what we're gonna have if I do that? And hear me now. I'm gonna say it now, and you're gonna watch it happen. We're gonna have an echo chamber. We're gonna have dudes that agree with me jump on the panel, but nobody's gonna get up there to argue. I got a couple trolls now. I got a dude with D Chicago. I don't know if you saw him. He was tap dancing in the chat or whatever. But these guys are not gonna jump on no panels with me, bro. You know what I'm saying? They just not gonna fucking do it. So, in theory, dudes can fantasize and mentally masturbate about how great marriage is or how great it could be or would be or whatever. But we got these women. These are the women we have. Now, unless you're going to go somewhere else and get some other women, if you're talking about these women, you're talking about this country, this is what we're dealing with. And nothing you do, I don't care if it's Jesus, the Holy Ghost, all the angels, everybody is not going to change nothing. We are dealing with what we are dealing with. That's it. That's all. Period. Period. Point blank. These guys are not going to give you no foolproof strategy to as far as marriage. You hear me say all the time, don't give women the keys. Marriage is the key. That's a key. I don't care what do you call it? Prenup you get. This dude's out here like, damn, they fucked them. In order for you to have a prenup, the woman should have to want to sign your prenup. She's not going to sign a prenup where, bitch, you don't get shit. Here, sign right here on the dotted line. You don't get shit.
Never. And
they're not signing that.
Even a judge, it's so diabolical. Even a judge, they will throw that ish out nowadays. That's the reason why I be like, you dudes talking about this whole prenup game. You know what I'm saying? As long as you make her sign a prenup and everything, the judge got to honor. I'm like, man, these judges ain't got to honor nothing but they bank accounts and their retirement plans.
Yeah, man. Or if she presented a strong enough case for she was under duress or she didn't understand if she was signing or whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's all they got to do, man. I just instruct dudes not to do it at all. You got dudes that are saying that they would rather have kids with a female and deal with it that way than to actually marry them. What they risk is, they risk, not having custody. They risk this, they risk that. But the most a woman could do is get child support, right? The most a woman could do is get child support as opposed to getting a nigga for half his money and this.
Have alimony, child support,
right.
You know what I'm saying, pension, if he you know what I'm saying, all that good stuff, 401ks, Lord forbid he if she came, if he like won some type of like lump sum in the near future and all that, all that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. So
but that's benefits to marriage though, Marcus. That's tax benefits.
Tax benefits. Okay, look, you want tax benefits? Start a business. Write some shit off. That's how you get your tax benefit. Niggas is getting married for tax benefits. What kind of stupid shit is this, man?
I mean,
that's the dumbest argument, bro.
They say that you married, you get the tax family credit, whatever that ish is. You know what I'm saying? The status on credit, you know what I'm saying? Benefit of it, being married is a status on symbol, Marcus.
You want a status symbol? Buy Benz. Look, what's the point in gaining all those tax benefits, right? If you're gonna lose the same money to the bitch when you get separated, you're gonna lose the same money. She's gonna take the money that you getting or saving from that tax benefit is gonna go to you spending money on the family or on her. That's not money you keep. It's just like when they talk about, oh, you make more money as a married man. No, you make more money as a married man because you pulling more hours to support that family. That's not money you get to keep. You know what I'm saying? You make more because you work more, and that's why you die at 48. Because you busting your ass to support this family, right? You don't know them. You don't really get to know your kids when you working that many hours. They don't know who the fuck you are. You see Fix My Life with old boy holding the beer can.
Mm-hmm.
So you spend your whole life doing that. Every waking hour is you doing something for that family. And you able to tell yourself, I'm a good man. And then you die. Here lies father, a good man. I mean, if that's what niggas want to do, if they think that that's what their life is for, I'm not here to tell them different. Don't hate me because I think you crazy. I'm not doing it, you know? But hey, have at it, bro.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, in the community, I think a lot of dudes want to get married because a lot of them didn't see their mama actually get married. They feel like if by doing such, not only they saving the future women or they group or whatever have you, they saving their mama. You know what I'm
They
saying?
don't think that is bullshit they tell themselves. They get married because they want to be with that bitch, bro.
Hey, some.
Go
Hey,
ahead.
you be surprised. You be surprised. I'm talking about the dudes in blackity circles that think like the chick, you know what I'm saying? Like the Umars and them, you know what I'm saying your mama black and all that other stuff. So yeah, they actually had that so-called philosophy.
Fam, the reason why they there in the first place is because they want to be in love with a female, this and that. That's why you go there in the first place, right? Because you're thinking like that, so you go to a space that kind of supports your belief system, your self-imposed belief system, right? You go with the pro-black shit so that you can find a reason, like it makes you feel better about your approach, right? So like, if you want a woman who gonna love you and this and this and this and this, why would you come over here where the red pill is? You gonna argue with us, you gonna troll us, this is what you gonna do. So it's better that you go to the pro-black space that supports how you feel about how that works. And they're telling you, yeah, man, you're right. That's what makes you a real man. And it boosts your confidence, and then you get to feel masculine. Because you're in a space that tells you, yo, real men do this. We're telling you you're a fucking simp. Why would you fuck with us? So you gonna go where that thought process is accepted. That's just how that works, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, you might have grown up, you might have learned, yo, this is what real men do, right? So even though you get in your ass kicked in real life, right? By how the women are acting, how they treating you, this and that and the other. You might be getting your ass kicked in real life. You were taught most of your life, this is what real men do. And, I want to be a real man, but I want to be a real man. So I'm going to be a real man. I'm not going to listen to you. Y'all niggas is not real men. Y'all scared to deal with real men deal with these issues. They know it's issues, but if you're a real man, you deal with the issue. Right? So, okay, go deal with the issue. I'm not jumping into pro-black spaces to tell them niggas that they should be like us. But you notice that you get a bunch of them niggas come over here. The bitches come over here. The niggas come over here. Everybody comes over here to the red pill space to tell niggas not to be red pill. We don't go into blue pill spaces to tell blue pill people take the red pill. You ever realize this? Nobody goes to where these people are to fuck with them. We lead them in a blue pill world. We lead them in the matrix. You know what I'm saying? Everybody comes over here fucking with us.
Because they are agents. They are paid agents. You know what I'm saying? They are democratic, liberal paid agents. You know what I'm saying? Agent provocateurs, crisis actors, whatever, what have you. We know who you are.
Well, some of them, I would say a very small amount of them will fit under that. I think most niggas are people who have been raised to believe a certain way, and it makes them feel like good people to come fuck with who they feel are bad people. They think that we're bad people because we don't subscribe to or are willing to do the things that they are willing to do, to be sacrificing themselves for these ideas that they have. A lot of these guys really believe it because they've been raised to believe it, or they told themselves that this is the way because of their outcomes, right? So, they'd rather do that. They'd rather be over there, being told that they're a real man for, like you said, falling on proverbial swords. They know that there's a sword and they know they have to fall on it. And they need a reason. You're a real man. I am? Yeah, you're real. That's what real men do. They fall on swords. So niggas will fall on the sword.
I wish I could.
Huh?
I wish I could find that video. Let somebody email it to me with that young 21-year-old dude that's with that 30-some-year-old fat chick. You know what I'm saying? That's the only ends that they that call a real marriage right there. You seen that clip, right, with the young 21-year-old dude? I think Tito had covered it.
21-year-old dude, what he was talking about?
No, he was baby daddy number 5.
Oh.
To that chick, yeah. See, they love them type of relationships. Let that
yeah, man. Again, dudes have been taught to be crash dummies, man. Sacrificial lambs, all of that stuff. They find, masculinity in that shit. I posted something on my community tab that said, guys who derive their manhood, and I'm paraphrasing the meme, derive their manhood from providing and protection. They going through all of these issues, emotionally, mentally, whatever. Right? Because, again, they're not even in no percentage living for themselves. If 100% of your life is living for somebody else or living for other people, you ain't really got a purpose. Not a self purpose, which makes you a slave again. It makes you a slave all over again. These guys have no sense of self. Like they fuck what they want. They think everything they're doing that serves other people, they're doing it for themselves, right? Because they've been told this is what makes you a man. So I'm working because this is what makes me a man. You've been gaslit.
I'm a man. You say I'm a man, Marcus. If I go ahead and wife up this 30-something plus year old woman with 4 kids, and she gonna give me one too.
Yeah, man, look. Do what you gotta do, playboy. I'm not gonna fight a nigga for his own freedom or any. Nah, do what you do.
Talking about do what you gotta do, huh? Damn.
Do what you gotta do, player. Like whatever makes you feel like you that nigga. Whatever makes you feel like you that nigga, you go ahead and do that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not here to run the experiments, bro. I ain't about to show niggas test tubes and chemistry sets and all of that dumb shit.
You can't. I mean, they gonna have to add a new element to the periodic table. It's gonna be the blue the SIM energy what's the name? I think they're gonna have to put that on a periodic table. It's like that simping. It became its own element. Like You gotta really do scientific dissertations on this particular matter in the future, because you really can't make some of this shit up. You really can't. Mm-mm-mm. As I was looking at Facebook, I was seeing you at this one a day ago. You had posted a reply to someone on one of our mutual friends on Facebook. He had posted, the main thing ruining dating for men of today is that older women have too much baggage and younger women have.
Okay.
And you have replied, and both groups think they own niggas.
Yeah. Yeah. I have a similar saying. I say, you know, I tell guys, I say, you don't want a woman that's too smart or too dumb. Because if she's too smart, she'll reject the instruction. And if she's too dumb, she can't process it. Like, she won't even be able to understand what you're telling her to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. But I agree with both things. It's like, yo, like, you know, is power. Well, you said it was either women that have too much power versus women have what? I forget this statement, but I know the post you talking about, and I know the person you talking about who put it up. But yeah, man, every once in a while, my man hit on a point. Like, he do his thing. When he right, he right. You know what I'm saying? But nah, I agree with that. I agree with that. That argument being made there. Crazy. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm actually bogging on my end. That's crazy. I was looking at my playback. I'm bogging. You sound crystal clear. Everybody can hear you, but not me. But I should be good though. Let's take a little bit more of this interview. Let me see what this white boy about to say.
Right now, your concern is that men can't be safe in marriage, but that's not actually what you're saying. You're not saying men can't be safe in marriage. They can. You're saying that they may not be safe in divorce. So I have a counter proposition for you. My counter proposition is, what if it's the case that you can use religious marriage institutions without the state? And then we add the ecclesiastical structure of the marriage. That's what always kept them together anyway, before the state was ever involved. So
now, right there, now I'm gonna pass the mic to you. Now, did he really just say that that's what kept the marriages together, was the ecclesiastical marriages? Like they weren't getting divorced before the so-called no-fault divorce back in the day, or these women, or even the so-called older Dodge, like, he went to the corner store to get a pack of cigarettes, and that was the last time I saw him.
So we can connect the rise in divorces to women's abilities to leave their man and still be financially okay, right?
Right.
It wasn't the ecclesiastical nothing. It was about the laws and finance. Women were scared that it used to be where dudes would get tired of a bitch and leave. So this used to be flip side. That's why a lot of these chicks are not really tripping over what's going on with men, because once upon a time in this country, it would be men abandoning the families, right? But we talking about white men. Listen, let's keep that in perspective. We talking about white men, right? White men would have just randomly abandoned their family. That's how you get alimony and all this other stuff, because these men will create a family and keep it moving. So, trust me, they didn't create alimonies over niggas leaving their families. Trust me, they didn't give a fuck about that. Trust me when I say this, especially not back then. So the point is, basically, it's like, that had nothing to do with religion and religion keeping families together. He's making a like some type of bullshit conflation between the rise or you know, low divorces having to do with religion. We knew that as soon as the laws changed and as soon as dudes were financially beholden to the wives or whatever the case may be, that's when the women was like, all right, we out of here. When they started issuing the no fault divorces and things like that. So no matter what, no matter how this shit go, whoever making more money is gonna pay. And 9 times out of 10, that was the men, right?
Yep.
What was women really doing to make considerable income back then? Right? So, yo, like, this is a dumbass argument. Then he said that you're not saying men aren't safe in a marriage. I'm saying it. There's a lot of aspects to
Well, and to piggyback, if you was so-called a black couple, I mean, I've been reading Tito's book, right? And shout out to him. This book is real good too. Even in the book, even in the first few pages, he had basically put a whole picture of basically when it showed that the black woman couldn't even be a housewife because it was illegal anyway. So I mean, yeah, y'all complain about all this so-called y'all was outside already working anyway, man. I mean, like, what's really fucking good?
Yeah, they needed black women in the workforce. I mean, look, they ended slavery. So now black men are working. Black women could now be housewives and disappear. Like, okay, so who's gonna do all of this domestic shit that we had women doing before? Nah, you're gonna go back to work, this and that and the other. Mind you, this is something that black women hold against us, like we wasn't making enough money for them to be housewives, and that's not true, right? Back then, you could be a housewife, but then the white man decided, nah, bitch, we don't care how much your man is making. You gonna come right back out here into this workforce and do the shit you was doing. You're gonna be man.
I'm really putting some two together right now, Tito. And I think I mean, not Tito, Marcus. Sorry about that.
Nah, you good.
I'm putting something together. So I had literally just because I was just thinking about Tito's book and that part I just referenced. I'm really starting to think that the whole 1950s thing was really a mirage. But if it was real, these white bitches weren't really the housewives. It was a so-called black maids because she had to go and take her black ass to work in so-called white. So,
Yeah, I mean they were the ones, you know, doing all this stuff. But again, you know, they come to the white woman's house. They you know, Maybell or whatever they are, and they're watching these white women live what they call now a soft life while they're serving or doing whatever for that family. That's what they're. And you know, we talk about best case scenarios because this is not something that's even real today. These white women got jobs and they work places and they work alongside of these same black women that think that these women are at home living off their rich white man. Like, bitch, you got white female co-workers at your job right now. Like, what soft life are they living? They working with you, making the money that you making. You know what I'm saying? And if they're making a little bit more, then that's something you complain to your boss about, your white boss. You don't complain to niggas about that. I never understood why black women go to niggas talking about a race gap. I mean, a wage gap.
Well, because it sounds good because they got to do the monkey CC. Becky and Karen put a battery in their back. So they
think they white women.
Yes. So they basically parrot and parakeet whatever Karen tell her go ahead and say to her black man, but she really want to say to her white man, but she go home to that white man and shut the F up to a degree. I mean, he's still leaving their ass for a reason. I see why. But long as she keeps that status quo up and keep us separate, or even having us niggas, so she get twofold. Even if so-called Brad and Chad leave her white ass, she know that she could always find a nice Tyrone, even a so-called nice little nerd dude that nobody wanted to go ahead and mess with. She knows she can get him too. So.
I got a little bit more time to kick it. Yeah, play a little bit more of that video, man. You know,
I got you. I'm about to get off in a few minutes anyway, too.
But what if instead we use the ecclesiastical church, the structure of the old churches? That would be Catholicism and Orthodoxy, where you see the lowest divorce rates because the community puts pressure on the women to act right. That's what they do. Right now, the state applies no pressure on women to act right, right? You can just go and file whatever you want, get a divorce, and go be banging the neighbor by the next night. We totally agree on that. But to say that we should abandon marriage is silly. It seems like you're completely pro-marriage. You're just anti-divorce. So why wouldn't you just throw your weight behind institutions where the divorce rate is the least and you have an ecclesiastical structure which can be appealed to assist with that? That's what makes no sense to me.
My response to that is if we're fifths, we beat all drunk. All right. So that's a scenario that just isn't present.
Can you explain the analogy for me?
Well,
I got to pause right there. Like, he ain't never heard, even a white boy like Andrew fucking Wilson hadn't heard that term before, man. Come on now.
I mean, if he hasn't, then it just speaks to his tone deafness. But yeah.
Let me press play. I'm going to press play.
If we use if, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. If we say if we have a situation where this is present, then this would work. Well, that makes sense. If we had that,
we do have it right now.
Well, it doesn't necessarily work because, and I'm going to tell you why, because a woman can go to a divorce attorney and they can simply just say, hey, listen, it was a off the cuff, off the state divorce, but you got married within a certain state, or she filed in a certain state, so therefore the divorce goes on. No, absolutely, okay. Yes. Listen, I've been with the divorce attorneys, and what they'll tell you is, hey, listen, you can get married in the ritual, you can get married in the orthodoxy, you can get married off record. But if she files and that woman is hell bent on saying, we got married, I don't care if it was a ceremony where we walked on coals with our feet bare, that's considered a marriage. You also have common law. You have a lot of other ways for that woman to establish marriage.
How does your way eliminate common law?
I don't have any way to eliminate common law. So what I have is a way for men to avoid.
Well, then the
being
argument's
used.
silly.
No, the argument's not silly. So
yeah,
I do have a way to eliminate common law. Don't occupy the same living space as your woman. Period. Now you got niggas that don't want to do that because they want to sleep and wake up with their bitch. But okay, then again you end up with common law. The way to eliminate common law is don't live with your woman. But go ahead, you were gonna say something. I'm sorry.
No, I mean I was gonna say this dude had he knew he was about to be in for a night dealing with CGA. He had to get a drink. You know what I'm saying? I see he's like, damn, this nigga came prepared. I thought it was gonna be a walk in the park like I did with these white bitches.
Yeah. I mean, Andrew can definitely debate. I was watching. Now you saw me on Dr. Thunder's channel when I was basically saying I didn't like the way that CGA handled Andrew in the debate, even though he disagreed with him. But I watched something today. I watched a stream with Andrew talking to a female. Now, mind you, he was correct in the debate, but he did exactly what CGA did to him. He was talking to her all types of crazy, and throwing wild insults. Even though, like I said, he had the stronger points, the stronger argument. So, it made me lose a lot of sympathy for him. For this debate, it's like, basically what CGA did was he gave Andrew a taste of his own medicine as far as how he deal with the white girls. So next time I talk to Dr. Thunder about this, or better yet, when I stream about it, because I now watch the whole video, I'm going to speak to that. Because if that's how Andrew engages, then I have less sympathy for him. Not to say that CGA necessarily, or he gave CGA a reason for coming at him the way he came at him. He did not, but he's also not sympathetic to the point where I'm gonna say, yeah, man, I feel sorry for him or feel bad for him because CGA came at him a certain type of way. Nah, you're not gonna get that sympathy. So either way, that's what it is.
All right, let me go ahead and press play a little bit more.
Establish marriage.
How does your way eliminate common law?
I don't have any way to eliminate common law.
So
what I
then-
have is a way for men to avoid
Well, then the
being
argument's
used.
silly.
No, the argument's not silly. So here's what you have. You have a if proposition, which doesn't exist for most men. Most men aren't religious. Most men aren't looking to be under a religious orthodoxy. So it doesn't apply. So you're taking a moral standard or a religious standard to apply to people who aren't under that veil.
So let's start with a couple of things you said, which are fundamentally untrue. Most men are religious, in fact, including in this country. Most of them, not some of them,
but they're not religious.
Hang on. I didn't interrupt.
I understand, but maybe just take that point. Most aren't under your religion.
Okay.
We can agree with that.
So here's the thing, though. But Catholicism and Orthodoxy is growing rapidly. And if it's the case that the ecclesiastical structure is already there, which it is, right? If you're going to cohabitate with a woman, the thing that you're offering right now is common law marriage anyway. If there's cohabitation at all, you're not protecting anybody from that. At least under my model, it gives an ecclesiastical structure that's designed to prevent divorce by applying community pressure. That was the way it was always done. Apply the application of community pressure within the confines of the woman's social circle. Right now, do you agree with me, for instance, that many divorces happen because women like to yap? So you get a freshly divorced woman and she's free. You go, girl power. And she starts talking to her little friends. She starts telling.
I don't know about white people, but the reason why that won't work for niggas is because the community pressure in Black culture comes from the women. It doesn't come from the men, right? Men have no community pressure for women to do anything, right? That's even if you want to say, if you want to call a thing a community in the first place. The community pressure comes from the women, not the men. So in the ecclesiastical framework for Black people, it'll be back to the bitches running shit. Okay, so there's no community. Black women are not under any pressure from their men to do nothing, whether it be inside the community, inside the culture, or outside of it. The reason why it works for white men, I told somebody this earlier, is because white men have things that they could grant or deny access to. This is what I said in the stream. White men run the system. White men could take away a bitch abortion rights. They could take a bitch right to work, right to vote. They could take all that shit away. Black men can't do that with Black women. The white man is essentially the boss of the corporation. Everybody else is co-workers, right? So everybody appeals to the boss, and the Black man that's the co-worker alongside you don't get no respect. You're gonna talk to him crazy. You ain't gonna submit to him. You ain't gonna do none of that because he's your co-worker. You don't gotta worry about him doing anything to you.
Oh no, Marcus, no. When it refers to the Black man and a Black woman, she's actually middle management. See,
absolutely.
She's HR.
Right. Absolutely. You know, the funny thing is, I've said this before, but you know, my only comparison to Black men being middle management is how sometimes you'll have a title that's a powerless title. Right? Now, I wouldn't call Black men middle management per se, but that's the only thing they have in common with middle management is that they have a title that gives them no authority. Right? Oh, you the man. And as a man, you do this and you do this and you do this. But Black women are definitely middle management. This thing that he's talking about definitely does not work for Black people because in the community spaces that we occupy, Black women are the authority figures. So that's just how that works. Andrew and his ecclesiastical bullshit is not going to change that dynamic. Shit, even in the times that we're talking about, that's how it was. It was like that then. Right? So how does it become that now if we re-adopt that? We all agree Black men have never had any sort of authority over Black women. Nothing real, nothing that we, you know, there's only been, you know, through what the girl on one of the videos you played said was like, we're using resources, we're making them into resource slaves or whatever the case may be, right? By denying resources. That's how they look at that. So like even when the men are making the money and they're the high value men women are looking for, women want to still be able to roam freely about the cabin inside of the framework of this beneficial or resource patriarchy. So they want the benefits and the resources of patriarchy, but they want to be able to move freely about the cabin, and any anything that denies them that freedom is oppressive.
Damn.
Yeah, it's oppressive within the framework that they commanded from the men. They don't want a broke nigga, but they want a submissive rich nigga.
Yeah, basically, a lot of these people say they don't want no so-called provider. They want a so-called game goofy simp with money.
Right. They want an on-point simp. That used to be the term we would use back in the day, is an on-point simp. They want a simp nigga with his shit together, which is a Russell Wilson. Anything other than that is oppressive to them. So if they get what they want, it's empowerment. If they don't, it's oppression. And that's just how the shit works.
You know what? That last name Wilson started becoming a simping last name. I mean, Russell Wilson, Andrew Wilson. I mean, yeah, damn.
The thing about these white dudes, they get on these podcasts and they talk a good motherfucking game. They know exactly what to say to draw the audience. They bring these girls up. They talk all strong on them. Now, it has come out that this dude got a woman with 3 baby daddies or some shit like that, right? So now, when they talking about it, I mean, I know Doc has done a show on this. They're like, oh, it's an attack. No, it's not an attack. It's him telling the truth. If that's what the audience needs to know about the guy that they listening to, that the guy that they're listening to is telling them move this way, but then he's moving a different way that is falling short or contrary to what he's preaching, then no, we need to know that. And I mean, Doc is like, yo, it sounds like an attack and it's not relevant to listen. If you spitting the truth is the truth. Maybe you ain't the one to say it though.
Mm-hmm.
Right. That's all that means. It's like, okay, does it make your point not factual? No, it doesn't do that. But you're just not the person for the message. You're not the package that this message should come in. And that's just what that is. Like, yo, you're not the guy for this. We shouldn't be listening to you say this. So the message is valid. We just need to get it from somewhere else, because it might be coming with other shit that we might not need, because your life is about something else. And that's all that means. So whoever wants to be tied to Andrew Wilson can continue to be tied to that man. I just hope that it gets you the outcomes that you're talking about. A lot of these guys that are talking about they're married under this framework of this religious nonsense are not telling you the other things that they're doing to keep their marriage together. They're jumping through hoops. They're doing backflips and cartwheels to keep their wives with them. But then when they talk to you, they say it's religion that's driving it. And it's bullshit. You know? So, I mean, look, and the things that I say about this topic, I'm going to be lightweight because, I'm cool with niggas that talk this stuff. But at the same time, it's like, yo, like, it's a lie, man. And I don't like when niggas be capping. I just don't. I really, really fucking don't, man. Because you're gonna steer somebody in the wrong direction, especially some young niggas and then we're gonna be trying to get them out of the same mess we've been trying to get most of these niggas out of. Which is why we're here doing these streams in the first place. Why would you throw these niggas back in the dirt for your fucking aspirational, idealism and bullshit? Like, it's just not real. I care more about real people than this idea and this fake shit that niggas is trying to, push forth, man. They're in a dream sequence and they're trying to make their dreams or make some standard into the reality instead of dealing with what we're dealing with and the people that we're dealing with, man. And I don't appreciate it. It's like telling niggas, yo, the slave plantation is great. We have it good here. And that's what this shit sounds like to me.
Even worse, Marcus. The niggas is on the Titanic. They see that there's a hole in the ship. They see the dudes are still playing the music, and it's like, hey, don't worry about it, guys. It's not that bad. You know what I'm saying? All we gotta do is go ahead down to the hole, get a couple of buckets, get a whole bunch of dudes. Let's go ahead, keep the water out the engine, and you know what I'm saying? Everything gonna be all right.
Yeah, man. So, yeah, at the end of the day, dudes can do what they want to do. I'm here to say what it is. Dudes that take it in, or they won't, or they listen to another guy. They can take that in or don't. And at the end of the day, you have nobody to blame but yourself. None of us are obligated to not only to give you the you know the guidance, but also to make you listen. None of us are obligated to do any of those things. So it is what it is, man. I'm a jump fan, but it was good finally kicking it with you on your shit. Yeah, man. I'm a like I said, I got a few panels coming up, man. When we're gonna discuss some of these things. I wanna tackle religion because that's becoming a big one. And I wanna also revisit this marriage debate that these guys have because I finished watching the video and I want to address some of the things that I wasn't aware of before, having not watched the whole video. So, you know, all those things are coming up, man. And yeah, rock with the kid. Who's still who's up in the chat, man? Where the chat at?
The chat, we still got some. There's like a lot of Ghost Song listeners right about now. I think Quiet Storm probably still up in here. The Superfly Game of Cool Some. You know what I'm saying? No News. I don't know if they still up in here, but I guess got a lot of cloud watches. It's almost 1 a.m. my time.
Right. Yeah, I was gonna mention that. Yeah, it's getting kind of up there in the time. So you know, and I know it's the weekday. You got guys, you know, got niggas watching football tomorrow and working tomorrow and all type of shit. So, but yeah, man, we gonna definitely do this again, man. Yeah, I would have been on earlier, but I caught the link late. By the time I seen the link that you had sent me, you know, some time had passed. How long was you on before I jumped in?
Not even that long. You literally had popped up when I spoke you up.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. Yeah, man. It's all good. So, yeah, let's definitely do it again, man. You know, sometimes
Do it again. Let's do it again.
all right. It's cool to, you know, speak without having to, you know, set up my own situation, man. I don't mind, you know, I like popping up on dudes platforms, man, because it's less work for me, man. I'll let y'all do the work. Let y'all play the videos and all that.
Even though my channel's small, I had basically everybody had stopped through here that basically of all Manosphere alumni. I had Coach stopped through it before, Black Ram, all these other guys, you know what I'm saying? You probably never heard of them, but you know what I'm saying? Yep. So I feel honored when I got the your content creator, favorite content creator almost. So I'm trying to get there. I ain't there. Y'all saying y'all just come and stop by over here. You know what I'm saying? I'm over here in my little neck of the woods.
No doubt. All right, my brother. Hey, yo, I appreciate everybody that's in the chat. You know what I'm saying? That rock with us through the convo, or everybody on the replay. You know what I mean? Catch us. You know, I'll be in Dr. Thunder's chat as usual. You know, like I said, I got a couple of them things coming up, so look out for those. And yeah, we gonna make it happen, man.
All right. Well, I'm about to go ahead and get up out of here, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Marcus, you already gave your final thoughts, so you know what I'm saying. You go ahead, drop down if you want to. You know what I'm saying? What up, Zone? What up, Zone 84, 86, 84? My bro. Hey, you just came in. Go ahead to watch the playback because we all about to get up out of here, bro.
No doubt.
Yeah. So on that note, everybody have a good night. Peace.
Mr. O with the info.